Bomber has been adapted by Joe Dunlop from the book by Len Deighton. It's the dramatic and terrifying story of the final mission of the RAF Lancaster bomber WF 183 over Germany on one night in 1943. It's also the story of all those people whose lives were irrevocably changed by the bombing raid. Starring Tom Baker, Frank Windsor, Samuel West, Emma Chambers and Jack Shepherd, and featuring the voices of British veterans and German residents throughout. This is the first part of Bomber, and at 14:30 hours, planning and preparation.
We knew that it was lethal to stay straight and left. As you were running into the target, you couldn't weave any longer. They had time to fuse and send a shell up there. It was all the time they wanted. That I would have to go straight and level for the bomber to drop the bomb and take the picture. Needed nearly half a minute. Half a minute is an eternity. Being straight and level.
It was like being on the stage in the spotlight. Bags of panic.
This is the story of the final mission of RAF Lancaster bomber WF 183, call sign O Orange, which took place on Saturday the 18th of February 1943. It is also the story of all the many men and women, British and German, whose lives were irrevocably changed by that night's bombing raid.
We present Bomber, a documentary drama based on the novel by Len Deighton, dramatised by Joe Dunlop. Starring Samuel West as Flight Sergeant Sam Lambert, Emma Chambers as WAAF Corporal Ruth Lambert, Jack Shepherd as Oberleutnant August Bach, featuring Frank Windsor as Air Marshal Sir Arthur Harris, and narrated by Tom Baker. Bomber.
It is just after 2:30 p.m. on Saturday the 18th of February 1943. O Orange is in the sky above Warley Aerodrome doing her night flying test.
Pilot to crew. Once around the garden, then home. Chief has told them to save 7 late lunches.
The pilot, Sam Lambert, on his second tour, has clocked up 47 operations.
The noise in an aircraft of that era is only just bearable, because the flying helmet of that era also was a thin leather one, and of course it was damaging. I'm slightly deaf, and there's lots of other people who flew, some completely deaf.
What times are they serving today, Skip? Did Chiefy say?
Meat pie, Benty.
What passes for meat these days anyway? Shut up, Benty. I'm glad about it, little chap, 2:30.
Binty Jones, ex-milkman from Pontypridd, is O for Orange's mid-upper gunner. His opposite number, the rear gunner, is an ex-miner from Nottinghamshire. The whole crew are volunteers.
Navigate to pilot. Yes, Josef.
Is that glycol leaking on the starboard inner, Skip?
Pilot to navigator, we're checking.
Only small, but it looks like it's getting bigger.
Thanks, Coach.
Is it glycol or fuel, Batters?
The coolant temp's a normal, Skip. No fuel pressure warning lights.
Visual check.
Sorry, Skip.
Look out the bloody window.
Oh, right.
O Orange's new flight engineer, Ted Battersby, was at school in Lancashire 6 months ago. He's 18, and tonight will be his third op with Sam Lambert.
There's something there, all right. Starting on the engine cowling. Looks like a new penny. It's all right. I know what it is, Skip. It's not glycol. No problem. It's a footprint. Only an oily footprint. One of the rigid digits. I saw it.
Now, on the notice board, there was to put up the names of the crews that were going to fly that night. But I used to find that if my name was up there, I went straight away to the toilet.
How's the starboard inner doing?
Looks perfect. Oil temp and pressure bang on as it should be. That's sorry to be.
Can you shift a minute, Badders?
Lift your legs, mate. Let DB out the nose.
Royal Australian Air Force, Bomber Orange. 15 operations, all with Sam Lambert.
What about the H2S, Coach?
On the top line, Skip.
Glad to hear it. Think it'll help, Diggers?
Yeah, well, you know me, Sam, always optimistic. But the blotter's broken down every flaming op so far. Did they tell you where we're going tonight?
1,300 gallons. Looks like we're going to bomb Adelaide.
You're very funny, yeah.
Steering right 45. Flaps up, batters.
Flaps up, Skip.
Pilot to wireless operator.
Jimmy here, Skip.
Getting a test done. I'm only going round once, mate.
Wireless operator to pilot, affirmative, Skip.
Jimmy Grimm, a Londoner, 21 years old, wireless operator Orange. Seated aft of the navigator on the port side facing forward, Jimmy has the astrodome above his head. The area shared by the pilot, the flight engineer, the bomber, the wireless operator and the navigator isn't much larger than a big family car. This was Jimmy Grimm's favorite test. Best bent wire tins, best bent wire tins. 200 miles away in northern France, an officer in charge of German radio monitoring makes a note of Jimmy Grimm's wireless test.
We knew the frequency of the different bomber squadrons and knew their number and knew also their airbase. And in the afternoon, those squadrons which would fly the night air raid, they checked their wireless. And our people listened to that, and they could tell me, tonight, the guess we will have 500 bombers from squadron so-so, squadron so-so. They come from that base, that base, that base, that base.
A message to that effect is sent to the CNC Luftwaffe Night Fighter Command at Dieland. "350 miles away, on the edge of the IJsselmeer in northern Holland, is Luftwaffe Night Fighter Station Krunsvig. Here are the Junkers 88s and Messerschmitt 110 night fighters, which will engage the British bombers over the skies of Europe tonight. At this time of the afternoon, they are being fueled and serviced.
Hemo! What are you shouting about? You're giving old Kugel a hard time.
Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenherz, Staffelkapitän of night fighters.
I was just telling him how irritating it is to locate a terror flyer, creep up under his belly, and then find your engine losing power before you can shoot him down.
Oh, he's still having engine problems.
Oh, yes. But will he do what I want? Engineers.
It sounds like oil pressure. It might be a leak.
Q-88s were never designed for fighter work.
Because I had a similar problem once on a Messerschmitt. It turned out to be a simple oil leak. Get him to fit new rings.
Done it twice. It makes no difference.
Then,
the engine's kaput. It needs replacing. Why won't you listen?
Old Kugel is under orders to keep replacements to a minimum. Besides, I hear the station commander is having trouble with his supercharger.
My heart bleeds. If we all had superchargers.
Then Kugel and his mechanics will be even more overworked.
So, what am I to do, Oberleutnant? We're on tonight. It's running okay now, but for how long?
Tomorrow I'll get Kugel to do an engine run. If the revs are still dropping, I'll insist on a new engine tomorrow.
Thank you.
Are you all right?
How do you mean?
Well, you seem a bit, I don't know, down on the mouth. Girl trouble?
No, it's nothing. Look, I'd better keep an eye on Kugel's men.
Heil Hitler. Heil Hitler.
Wireless operator to pilot? What's wrong with the engine, Skip?
Nothing, Jimmy. It's just Battersby's on the throttles. Oh, reload everyone. Shut up, NT. Go easy, Batters. It's not an Austin 7. That's better. Sit. Listen to the revs and look at the props. You can't always trust the dials.
The most isolated men on a Lancaster are the gunners. In Orange's rear turret is Sergeant Flash Gordon. After the war, Flash plans to get an office job. No way will he ever go back to the mines. He swivels his turret, his eyes trained on the sights of his 2 pairs of parallel-mounted 303 machine guns.
Pilot to rear gunner. How's the view, Flash?
Really brilliant, Skip. It's really great. I can see so much better now Keeper's taken out the rear perspex.
I saw a film with Bob Hope, and he was stuck in a suitcase for quite a while. When they opened the suitcase and he got out, he couldn't straighten up, he was all cramped. And I thought, Christ, that's just how I used to feel when I come out the turret.
They'll all be up to cut out rear turrets once word gets round.
Stop blowing your own trumpet, Flash Boy. We know you're a genius.
The mid-upper gunner, Binty Jones, has a pair of 303 machine guns. Neither gunner has contact with the rest of the crew except through the intercom.
You're only jealous. I'm a golden turret. That's what they'll call it.
Or the flash-outy turret. There, Skip?
The pilot's about gunners dry out. Good roost for those, Skip. Roger, Flash.
You're thinking of moving here after the war, Sam? Sorry, Digby? You and the missus, after a nice little thatched cottage with a garden gate.
Why'd you say that?
We always take us over this way. Hey, look, Sam, starboard on the beam, another Lancaster.
Factory delivery, no markings. Replacement machine.
Yeah, probably a Sheila at the controls. Don't get too close, Skip.
Don't worry. 2650 plus 4, batters.
2650 plus 4, Skip. Coolant to 105, all 90, pressure 70, Skip.
Pilot to rear gunner.
Yes, Skip.
Can you see the Lancaster starboard side?
Even see the crew of the rear. Looks all right.
Keep your hands off your weapon, Flash Boy.
All right, your boxes and tricks, okay, Navigator?
Navigator to pilot, seems to be working.
Good. Pilot to all crew, we're going home.
O Orange begins her descent towards Warley Fen Airfield. A mile-long runway clearly visible like a black line across the countryside. Tonight, in the dark, it won't be quite so easy to find. Warley Fen Aerodrome, one of over 100 Bomber Command stations dotted around the British Isles in 1943. There are 16 Lancaster bombers based here. All of them will take part in tonight's raid.
To be working out on dispersed areas with an icy wind blowing, because aerodromes are always selected to be in the coldest and the most hostile weather conditions that you can imagine.
During the morning, the pilot's snag lists from the previous night's operations have been studied by the ground crews and repairs and replacements carried out. Now, most of the aircraft on their concrete circular stands are being fueled and bombed up, ready for takeoff early this evening.
Some of the smallest nuts and bolts are in the most inaccessible places, and to get your hands when they were blue down and tighten up the 6BA nut and bolt, it takes some doing.
B-Flight office. Airman Clerk Eric Steads types up crew schedules. In the office next door, B-Flight's temporary acting commander, Flight Lieutenant Sweet, stands by the open window watching the activity as O Orange comes onto its stand. Sweet is 22.
Mr. Fleming? Sir? Here a second, old chap.
Fleming is the captain of the replacement crew of Lancaster Z Zebra. Of those who survived her crash landing at Warley 3 weeks ago, 3 are still in hospital. With a new tail assembly, wing section and undercarriage, the plane will fly again tonight. None of her old crew will ever fly again.
You look after Z Zebra, Mr. Fleming. She's a good old crate. You've had the best damn training, now use it.
Can't wait to get up there and get on with it, Mr. Sweet.
Good show, Fleming. Carry on.
Did you call me, sir?
No, Sedge. Talking to Mr. Fleming.
Yeah. First operation tonight.
You know, the odds are 15 to 1 again for the first 3 trips.
You didn't say that to them, did you, sir?
Oh, of course I didn't, you idiot. They aren't fools, Eric. Public school chaps.
Never heard then, eh?
How's it go again? Survive your first 5 and you double your chances of staying alive.
At least for 30 ops.
Lincoln Munro's done over 60.
True, sir.
Done 28 myself. Fleming just needs a bit of luck.
Everyone knows, sir.
Well, I do remember an incident where a mid-upper gunner
lost his head.
Yes.
And the aircraft was right in front of the hangars.
Yes. I do remember that. Yes.
And there's just nothing there.
Nothing, yes.
Just completely lost his head.
Yeah. Oftentimes, there will be that smell.
Yes.
Of bodies have been in there for 8 or 9 hours. Probably been no injuries to them, but there was that particular smell peculiar to a kite returning from operation.
Absolutely. Yes. I remember one coming back though, George, where they had to pull the parachute. for him to lie on. And the parachute was, instead of being white, was red. I remember that, and the ambulance came out. They left the parachute behind for us to clear up. And that was a mid-upper gunner as well. I've just forgotten his name, but I will be able to come to it.
Was a nice old German town with this typical markethouse with these old fronts, different roofs, with much old culture, so very nice.
That same afternoon in February 1943 in the small town of Altgarten in northwestern Germany, Walter Reismann, the Burgomeister, called into Frenzel's, his favourite restaurant.
Only a small affair, mind, Herr Frenzel. 18 guests.
Yes, Herr Burgomaster, even so we must make it special.
There is a war on. Like the Führer, we must live simpler lives these days. Now, with the fish.
Riesling with the fish.
Perfect.
And with the main course, Herr Burgomaster?
Oh, a nice little chateau bottled Burgundy you were telling me about.
The Lafitte 37.
Precisely. And, of course, champagne for the toast.
How many bottles?
Just keep it coming till I tell you to stop. Oberleutnant Bach. Good day. Fraulein.
Good afternoon.
Herr Burgomeister, good afternoon. Happy birthday.
I'm sorry you won't be here for the party.
Duty first, I fear.
Fritz wants to lay on an evening such as we used to have before the war. But I was just saying, we have to make sacrifices, even in a quiet little backwater like this. You returned to Holland today?
Within the hour.
Well, I mustn't detain you from your meal.
Your table, sir.
Heil Hitler.
Heil Hitler. Who is that pretty little thing with him?
His housekeeper.
Oh.
Well, his wife has been dead over a year.
She's rather young for August. He must be pushing 50.
Her father is a high-ranking official in the propaganda ministry.
Oh, not just a pretty face, then. Well connected. Crafty old August. Now, where were we?
Now, the shanty. You had no right to order alterations without my written authority, Sam.
I don't know what you're talking about. Sam Lambert and Flight Lieutenant Terry Sweet in B-Flight office at Warley Fen.
The blasted rear turret on O Orange. You told Worthington's riggers to leave the perspex off. He just told me. Look, it would have been good manners to at least check with me. I am meant to be B-Flight commander after all.
I did. I left a note on your desk.
Well, I never saw it.
I got it back with your signature on it.
Huh?
Yes, ask Eric.
No, I signed so much.
Look in the file if you don't believe me.
All right. Subject closed. We're on tonight. Big op. Briefing for captains and navigators at 15:30.
We'll be ready.
So you are. I want B-Flight to be the best damn bomb delivery service in group. So how's it working out, this rear turret thing?
Well, Flash says it's...
Eric!
Sir?
Where's my tea? Want some tea, Lambert?
No, thanks, sir. I have a late lunch waiting.
I'll get it now, sir.
And Eric, tell Mickey Murphy to get over here.
Sir?
Bloody undercart keeps jamming on his sugar. Seems beyond Mickey Murphy to get the ground chaps to do anything about it.
Doesn't sound like Mickey. Or the ground chaps.
I've had to use emergency air twice to get the wretched gear down. So, how's Ruth? You should watch yourself there, Sam. Ruth is no fool. Bound to find out.
I doubt it. Unless someone tells him.
Well, strictly speaking, I should. Won't, of course.
Damn stupid reg of his. No wives within 40 miles.
Quite. So what's the thinking behind this rear turret thing?
Oh, it's Flash's idea.
Huh?
My rear gunner, Sergeant Gordon. Thought it would make for better night vision. No smears or scratches to spoil the view.
Everybody's seen well enough through perspex before.
You could say the same for glass, but haven't you ever opened a window to see better?
Yes. Yes, well done. Let me know how it works.
Flash should get the credit.
Oh, don't worry, he will.
Have you heard where we're going tonight?
Well, even if I knew, I couldn't tell you. Figgy?
No, thanks.
Look, Lambert, I was going to leave this till after tonight, but I might as well give it to you now. You won't like it.
Why don't you go eat your pie, Flash?
I'm not hungry.
The crew of O Orange in the sergeant's mess.
Come in, considerate sod, spoke my line this morning.
Who's that then, Flash?
You Welsh git, your motorbike, 6:30 this morning.
Well, my pie's not bad.
Shouldn't have been away all night in the first place.
Mind your own business, Flash. Read a comic or something.
Back from Peterborough, was
Don't
it?
start, you two.
Well, it's not right. Having it off with a married woman while her husband's away fighting.
Go and see if a pard is looking for an assistant.
One of these nights he'll be standing by the bed when you wake up.
He's in Burma.
You'll hear about it, and he'll sort you out.
Weedy little boy with ornaments.
I haven't seen him, you lying.
I have. Yeah, the wedding picture on a bedside table.
And it might have got bigger since that was taken.
Not according to Rosie.
I hope he's a bloody PT instructor. Out east fighting Jack. It's not right.
Where's Jimmy?
Gone to see if there's any post.
I wonder what Skip's talking to Squid about.
Afraid it's settled.
Effective when?
Tomorrow.
What about replacements?
Straight swap. You get Speak and Simpson.
I see. You get my navigator and bomb aimer and I get yours.
Word from some desk flyer on high, old chap. Ours is not a reason why.
You don't split up crews that are working well.
Sorry, Lambert.
I bet you are. You've done this, haven't you? First you took Mickey Murphy, now you're having Cohen and Digby. Digby's the best bomb aimer in the squadron.
My chap Tim speaks pretty good.
I hear he's windy. And your navigator Simpson's a no-hoper too.
I don't care for your tone, Lambert.
What are you trying to do, sweet? Have the best crew in the group to cover your back? Do you think that's all it takes?
I'd be careful what I said if I were
you. You don't split crews up.
Cohen's put in for a commission. He doesn't want to fly under a sergeant. You know, Lambert, these paranoid speculations of yours are very interesting. I think you're the one who wants a crew to watch your back.
Oh, bugger off.
Oberleutnant August Bach and Anna Louisa finish lunch at Frenzel's restaurant.
More wine?
No, thanks.
Go on. These sausages aren't where they were. I think the British have some kind of secret weapon. A man flicks a switch in London and every sausage skin in the Ruhr splits from end to end.
The Burgomeister keeps looking at me.
Because you're so pretty.
No. It's because you are a Luftwaffe Oberleutnant and I'm a little housekeeper.
Nonsense.
Well, not many people of your rank would take their servant to lunch.
They would if they were in love with them.
Oh.
I asked you here this afternoon because I want you to marry me, Anna Louisa.
Oh.
Young Hansel adores you.
And I him.
Now, I know I'm not a young man, but I do love you, and I'll do everything I can to make you happy. Well, what do you say?
I've loved you for a long time, August.
But you never said.
I didn't dare hope.
Anna!
Oh, my head's in a whirl.
You aren't used to drinking in the afternoon.
No. When do you have to leave?
The car's coming at 3.
Let's go back to the house. Now. I want you to make love to me.
What's up, mate?
I got a letter from my missus.
Huh? Oh, not a dear John letter.
Don't be daft, no. Our little Tommy's not too well.
Oh, dear.
She says he was coughing all night.
Look, Jimmy, you know standing order says you can't have your wife living less than 40 miles from base, right?
Well, she's back in Warley, isn't she? Living with her mum.
Right. But it doesn't say a dicky bird about having other people's wives, does it?
Well, don't you ever think of anything but Sheila's? I can't just see Jimmy's not in the mood for jokes.
Well, I hope this Rosie's husband's in the Marines. That's all I bloody hope.
But baby's a crook 1 minute and bouncing fit the next. I wouldn't worry though, Jimmy.
Well, how do you like it, Binty? How dare fighting for your country and some poxy little Welsh cuckoos in your nest shagging your wife?
You're the one that sounds cuckoo to me, you.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough. My hell's tea, save it for the Jerrys.
Where are you going, Flash, for a walk?
Good idea.
He fancies her himself.
But why do you keep rubbing his nose? Look, you'd better sort it out with him and quick. Well, that's all we need, a rear gunner who hasn't got his mind on the job.
But he started it.
Oh, like the Germans, you mean? I mean, who gives a tuppenny cuss who started it? All I want to see is the bloody thing finished.
We had a lot of colonials, I mean Australians, Canadians, New Zealanders and South Africans. I mean they had less regard for RAF discipline than we did.
What's he saying, Sam?
Who?
Tweed. Saw you in his office. Giving you the benefit of his vast experience, was he?
Flight Sergeant Worthington, Chief Engineer Ground Crew O Orange.
He say what tonight's target is?
No. What's the bomb then?
The train's on its way. Starboard Jenny on the top line then?
Seems to be.
He was definitely giving us a volt up this morning.
Practice never took his eyes off it.
If that Jenny acts up, watch a step. The accumulator could go up if it overloads.
Well, whatever it was, you seem to have fixed it.
Yeah. She's a good old girl, old Orange. Running up,
Grain crew obviously became attached to the aircraft, and obviously, if the aircrew managed to survive perhaps more than 3 or 4 trips, became attached to the aircrew as well. It was their aircraft. And really,
we only let the aircrew have it on occasions to take over to Germany, and then I used to say, well, bring it back in one piece, you know.
Anything else, Chiefy?
What's wrong, Sam?
You know, Chiefy, when I told my old man I was joining up from 37, he said to me, why? What are you joining that bloody shower of toffs for? Since Sweet took over the fight, I'm beginning to see what he meant.
Yeah, not the way it was. Boys with bum flap on their chops running the show.
48th trip tonight. Maybe it's time I packed it in.
Has Sweet got it in for you?
God knows.
You look tired, Sam.
No, I'm all right.
You sleeping all right?
I keep having this dream. This little German kid's having his birthday. He bends to blow the candles out, and his head melts. Funny dream, eh?
August Bach and Anna Luisa are on their way home from Frenzel.
Oh, no, August. It's your cousin. Let's pretend we haven't seen him.
What?
Oh, no, he's seen us.
Good afternoon, sir.
I've just been round to the house, but you weren't in.
You know Anna Luisa?
Yes. Afternoon, Fraulein.
What's the matter? You look like you've swallowed something sour, cousin. You've been eating your own pickles.
Ah, very funny. My pickles are well liked in this town.
Well, what do you want to see me about?
I wanted a word in private.
Anna and I have no secrets.
No, it can wait. Well,
No, wait, Gerd, wait. I want you to be the first to know. I've asked Anna to marry me, and she said yes.
Oh.
Aren't you going to congratulate us?
Yes, of course. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I must get back to the shop. It's Saturday, and I'm short-staffed. Frau Kirsten is ill.
He doesn't like me.
Nonsense. Gerd likes everyone.
Not young women, he doesn't. He's got nothing but old bats working in that grocer's of his.
Sam sits behind a repair hangar at Warley Fen with a WAAF Corporal from Safety and Rescue Section. Known on the base as WAAF Corporal Taylor, she and Sam were secretly married 6 months before.
He's poaching another 2 of my crew.
What?
Last month he took my flight engineer, Mickey Murphy. Now it's Cohen, the new navigator, and Digby, best bomb aimer on the squadron.
Can he do that?
He's bloody done it.
Why don't you go to Monroe and complain?
What'll I say? My flight commander won't get off my back. He'll deny everything.
I still think it's worth it.
I only have a couple of minutes. Let's just go somewhere. Why don't we go up to London next weekend, eh?
Oh, why not?
I wish we could just go over to that hole in the fence and walk away from here.
Where would we go?
Wouldn't care. Just as long as it's as far away from here as possible.
Oh, Sam.
We can't, of course. There's a war to win. I'll just do what they all do. Press on.
Sam, don't jump down my throat. But why don't you put in for a commission like Daddy said?
We went through this last weekend.
I know.
I don't want to be a bloody officer.
The only way you can stop people like Terry Sweet from having the upper hand is by becoming one of them.
If you wanted just Terry Sweet for a husband, you should have married him.
Sorry?
It's not as though you didn't have a chance.
What?
I know, Ruth, about you and him.
No, what?
You and him.
What are you talking
Ruth,
about?
Please, don't lie to me. You knew him before me. You did, didn't you?
What do you mean, know him?
And that would have suited Mummy and Daddy better, wouldn't it? Public school boy, officer class.
Oh, stop it, Sam. Look, I haven't a clue what's brought
He's
this
an old
on.
boyfriend, isn't he? Flight Lieutenant Sweet.
Rubbish!
Don't lie to me, Ruth. You went out with him, didn't you? Your mother told me the whole story last weekend. She thought it was a joke.
Oh,
We remember Terry Sweet all right. What a charming boy. That is struck on Ruth he was. What a coincidence. He's on your squadron.
he went to school with my brother.
Of course, he bloody would, wouldn't he? Want to see the rest of it?
He was nothing to me. It was nothing like that.
Well, he's something to me. Flight Lieutenant Sweet, 7 years younger than me, and treats me like I'm a 13-year-old, and he's my acting prefect.
He's a chump. Always was. Don't let's quarrel, please, Sam.
You tell me. That's what all this smirking and asking after you is about. I've got to go. Pilots and navigators briefing.
Sam! Oh. Quickly, August. We're getting soaked.
It was a little town with a lot of people of government, and there was from the German army, there was a division, and the commander of the division was an uncle of mine.
A word!
Yes?
Is there an SS headquarters in this town?
Yes, at the Val Hotel.
Well, how do I get there?
You follow this road till you come to the old walls and turn right on the Kaiserstrasse. You'll see trees by the road. It's just after the trees begin. You'll see it on the left. Have you come far?
Did you get that, driver?
Yes, there are black and white sentry boxes. You can't miss it.
One hotel?
That's it. Only my son is in the battle, SS. He's on the Eastern Front with Army Group South. Some of these people are so unmannered. What is it?
I don't know, he frightened me.
That's the whole idea of the SS.
70 miles away in Holland, the officers' mess of Night Fighter Station Grimsby.
Overleiten, sir.
Corporal Blessing. What on earth are you doing in here?
Would you come with me, Overleiten?
Not just at the moment, Blessing. By the way,
I'm afraid I have to insist.
I beg your pardon.
My identity papers.
Reich Central Security. I thought you were in charge of the foreign cleaners, Blessing.
And so do all these officers in here. Now, I must insist you come quiet.
What is all this about?
A matter of espionage.
Did I please you?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You're so beautiful. So soft and so firm.
Oh, don't go. Oh, I never knew such pleasure.
I should get dressed. The car's waiting.
Oh, not yet. Hold me.
I love you, Anna, but I have to get dressed. What is it?
I've seen this room so many times, cleaning and polishing it, but I've never seen this view before.
You'll see it often from now on, I promise you.
Oh, you might have scratched my shoulder.
I'm sorry. Let me kiss it better.
I shall look at this little mark tonight and think of you.
I should have taken it off.
It's the blue marks, isn't it?
Yep.
You got it for shooting down 11 British aircraft in the last war.
How do you know?
Paul told me.
He shouldn't have been boasting.
He wasn't boasting, I asked him.
I had hoped to hear from him before I left. When I write, I would like to tell him of our plans.
Oh, no, don't tell him yet.
Why not?
He might not approve.
You and he get on well enough, don't you?
Did he say that?
Don't you like him?
He's your son, of course I like him.
That SS man in the street just now. He'd come from the Russian front. His driver was an Asiatic. The news from Kharkov is not good.
Paul will look after himself.
17, that's all he is. It's my age when I shot down my first British aircraft.
Were you afraid, August?
Yes. I was afraid anyone would think I was afraid. I saw his face, you know. That English flyer. I think his gun's jammed. He and the observer were both killed. Saw the wreckage later. Blood on the canvas.
And now with your radar, you help other young pilots.
I'm a desk-bound old man.
To me, you're still a hero, protecting us. And you're the best lover I've ever had.
You don't need to lie to me.
It's true. And you wish you'd been the first.
What's past needn't concern us. Let's live for the present.
And the future.
Of course, our future will be together.
Oh, look, August, lightning. 1,000, 2,000, 3. Oh, close. Do you know how to tell how far away a storm is, August?
You can never be sure.
It's a good feeling when you have someone who fought against the enemy to save us. It's just this feeling, each one had this feeling. We knew that they defended us.
Warley Fan Operations Room. The teleprinter brings confirmation of tonight's target and details of the route to be taken. Rendezvous southward, then to 51 degrees 48 minutes north, 3 degrees 50 minutes east. Target 070 degrees 650 yards from target, codename Mazia A. Turn left from target, then to Nordvik, then base. Aim to cause maximum destruction to enemy industrial center.
Take this wire form to Wing Commander Munro straight away.
Yes, ma'am.
At the briefing, all the details will be passed to the men who will fly in the aircraft. The decisions on the target, the number of aircraft to take part, and the bomb loads were made much earlier today at Bomber Command headquarters at High Wycombe.
There was a central table in this large room, and Harris would come in and sit down, and I don't get any impression that he was hurrying to his desk. He knew he was going to get there. He knew what he had to do and he went down to it. No reluctance either.
It was at precisely 9 a.m. this morning that Commander-in-Chief Bomber Command Air Marshal Sir Arthur Harris had studied the vast array of intelligence, maps, lists of targets and previous bombing ray photographs. As always, a small group of high-ranking RAF officers gathered around him.
Do we have the latest from Met?
Yes, sir, here it is.
Looks like we're on for tonight, then.
Well, I asked him to report in person, sir, and he's waiting outside.
If you'd be so kind, Wing Commander.
Tell the Met man we're ready.
The previous night's operations and photographs are still recorded on the giant boards on the wall. An officer alters the total on the failed-to-return tally from 24 to 23.
One of the 4 groups, Halifaxes, was trying to make a wheels-up landing at the emergency dome at Woodbridge, sir, but ended up at the new American base at Flamingham instead.
What's that make it?
4.4% losses, sir. 8 group had a good night, sir. Only 2 missing.
Yes. Mr. Fitzherbert.
Morning, sir.
Well, what can we expect tonight over the Ruhr?
These are the predicted fronts for this evening, sir. At present, thunderstorms are moving across the Rhine ahead of this cold front here, but they will clear by late this afternoon. We'll get a spit up over the target later, but we expect a thin layer of medium cloud somewhere between 1,000 and 20,000 feet. Moderate to good visibility, northeast winds, light to moderate.
Northern France?
Much the same. Well-broken cloud in the northwest.
And what's the weather going to be like over England for a return around midnight?
By then the low will be here, or thereabouts, and a chance of rain. Nothing serious. Patchy clouds somewhere between 2,000 and 3,000 feet. No fog or icing.
Thank you, Mr. Fitzherbert. That'll do nicely.
Thank you, sir.
Target maps, please, Wing Commander.
Sir.
Each town targeted is marked by a color-coded reference. Industrial targets, railway centers, oil installations. Harris peers closely at the Ruhr, Duisburg, Essen, Dortmund, and Krefeld. The shortest route to each is marked, and flying times and fuel loads to each target are marked alongside.
Sir, better than expected.
So what's available?
In total, might manage 750 heavies, 160 mediums.
Let's go for 600 heavies and 100 mediums.
Very good, sir.
Since Churchill and Roosevelt's conference in Casablanca a few weeks before, U.S. and British bombers were targeting Germany on a daily basis. The Americans by day, the British by night. The overall aim of the combined bombing campaign was the progressive destruction and dislocation of the German military, industrial and economic system, and the undermining of the morale of the German people to a point where their capacity for armed resistance was fatally weakened. It was Harris's task to implement the British end of this directive.
All right, gentlemen. Our target for tonight is Krefeld. Steelworks, chemical plants, aircraft engines, and railway yards. Target files, Wing Commander. Krefeld primary, and Bremen as weather alternative, just in case Mr. Fitzherbert's cold front doesn't move the way he thinks.
Target files, Harry.
Sir, I have them waiting, sir.
Thank you, Ashton. Well done, my girl. Guessed right.
Laura Ashton, 19 years old, a WAAF clerical section, smiles as she hands over the files. That morning, she had written to her boyfriend at Warley Fen. He would never read her letter. His name is Simon Cohen, and tonight he will be navigator on Orange's last operation.
This is Krefeld, gentlemen. HR 2030. I propose to hit it here hard in 2 waves, with a 20-minute pause between them.
Second wave, HR 2120.
I know it involves more of a threat from the night fighters, Donald, but that's more than set off by the chance of catching his fire and rescue chaps off guard. It has a profoundly dispiriting effect on the population, too, if when they think it's all over, another wave starts pounding them, what? At least a third of all aircraft tonight to carry one 4,000-pounder, and as many as possible pistols fused for long delay. I also propose to increase the proportion of high explosive to incendiary by 10%.
Sir.
We need to get those roofs off, crack open their buildings, and then we can set them alight. Hopefully the forecast winds will materialize and spread the fire. Pathfinder mosquitoes, what's their availability?
14 listed. They've been out every night this week. Last night they had a few problems with the oboe set, sir.
6 should be adequate. Oboe mosquitoes have no excuse for not getting their reds right on the mark. Can we muster 6?
Should be no problem, sir.
Any questions?
He was severity concentrated and personified. He had a lot on his mind, and you could tell that. For instance, let's say they had a big raid on, and everybody went out, and none of the aircraft could have landed anywhere in England afterwards. Quite a possibility.
And that's it.
If there's a Met update...
I'll be back at the house from 12 onwards. PM's coming for a briefing.
Very good, sir.
Going to show him the bombing pictures and then perhaps a spot of lunch. Jolly good success last night, Mr. Hunter. Only 23 failed to return.
Still over 140 men lost.
What?
I was just saying, the men lost.
It's in the nature of war that young men die, Group Captain. I accept losses. I have to accept them, to expect them.
I'm sorry, sir, I didn't mean to.
I am convinced, and so is Mr. Churchill, that we can win this war from the air. We are wiping out their munition factories, oil installations, and transportation, starving them of the means to continue fighting. Remember Cologne, Mr. Hunter? A few more Colognes and it will be over. And however many young men we have to lose to achieve this end, they will not die in vain.
Yes, sir.
And if I have to flatten the whole of Germany, I will do so.
Here, well away from the dispersals, in the most northerly corner of Warley Fen RAF station, is the bomb dump, behind huge blast walls and camouflage from the air. The bombs for tonight's raid are taken from here and winched onto low-loading trolleys. Each trolley can carry one 4,000-pound cylindrical cookie bomb, or 8 250-pound bombs, or 4 500-pounders. Warley's 16 Lancasters will each carry one cookie, as well as a variety of other smaller-sized high-explosive and incendiary bombs. Several trolleys are linked together to make up one aircraft's bomb load and then pulled away by a tractor. This tractor driver, like many others, is a WAAF. Her name is Madge Scott, and she's 18 years old. Madge's first stop with her train of bombs is the fuse hut, which is open on both sides like a large blacksmith shed. She halts with the trolleys inside. Here, the armourers insert the timers, fuses, and firing mechanisms. The delayed action timers are set here too, according to order. Anything from a few seconds to 6 days. Madge Scott skillfully brings the bomb train around a perimeter road and onto the concrete stand, circling the aircraft and steering as close to it as possible. The bomb bay doors on each aircraft stand open. The tractor is unhitched, and the armourers manhandle each trolley the last few yards till it sits under the open bomb doors. The winching up of each bomb into the dark of the bomb bay begins.
Hello there. Sorry? Thought it was you.
It's me, all right.
You're in the dog and duck Monday night, weren't you? At Battersby, isn't it?
Yes. Oh, it's you! Oh, look a bit different in your overalls.
A bit of a sweet talker, aren't you, Batter?
How are you settling in?
Well, I would say the first week's the worst. Not a bad billet, though. Is this your aircraft?
No, mine's over there. Oh, orange.
I thought it was creaking something.
Oh, yeah, its nickname's Creaking Dog.
Yeah, that's it. It never falls off, right?
Right.
the bloody tractor! Sorry, Sergeant!
You haven't seen Flat Sergeant Worthington, our chiefy, have you?
No, I haven't.
I have to find him, man. I'll see you later.
Is that a nickname he's painting on this way?
Yeah, the skipper's rechristening L. Love, Joe for King.
Joe for King?
Joe Starling. Oh, there he is now, talking to Tommy Carter.
Joe Starling?
No, by Sergeant Worthington. Maybe see you later.
Gotta get loaded up again. Look, what?
Oh, nothing.
Cheerio for now, then.
Mind how you go.
Right.
What do they call you?
March! March! Stop! Empty!
Hey, Battersby! What the hell are you playing at, lad? I want a word in your show like about that starboard jetty.
The Wald Hotel, SS Headquarters, Altgarten, about the same time. Sturmbannführer Fischer stands at the window of his room and watches the sacks and bundles being unloaded from his car.
Come. Yes?
Your food, sir, and the bottle of schnapps.
Good.
Are you part of the new elite SS division they're talking about, sir?
Oh, yes, that's right.
That's what I'd like to be posted to. Something like that. It's a backwater here in Altgarten. Nothing happens.
Do your duty today, and I'll see what I can do. What age are you?
16, Herr Sturmbannführer.
Good. Did you get me the information? This man, boss, where he is living?
54 Florstrasse. He has a tailoring business. It was suspected he was employing Jews. But for some reason, nothing has been done. He's small...
Florstrasse. I asked directions in Florstrasse. I know where it is.
Is he an enemy of the right, Herr Sturmbannführer?
No, he is a tailor. I need a new uniform. Get moving, soldier. Keep close guard on those trunks they're bringing him from the car. If anything is harmed, I'll have you hung with piano wire.
It would be tonight, under cover of darkness, SS Sturmbannführer Fischer decided that he would go to Herr Voss's house on Florstrasse. At that moment this afternoon, however, 3 doors from Helmut Voss's house, August Bach left Anna to return to radar station Ermin.
Take care of yourself, August.
Tell Hansel he's the man of the house while I'm away. And if there is an air raid...
They won't bomb here.
Please, humour me. I have to know you'll be safe.
Herr Foster's Stella.
Yes.
I know. I love you.
No tears, please. I'll be back in 2 weeks' time. Drive on.
As the car drove away from Florstrasse, the rain stopped and a patch of clearer weather came in from the east. The sun would shine throughout Europe that winter afternoon in 1943. Even at Krunsvig, the sun made an appearance as Oberleutnant Victor Löwenherz accompanied 2 men along the edge of the airfield.
I find this all very strange. Secret police and military intelligence working together.
I'm so pleased to meet you in person, Herr Baron Oberleutnant. I've seen you often in newsreels, and of course, your photograph in Signal, a true right hero.
Blessing here said something about espionage.
Nobody. Unter Sturmbannführer Blessing, I told you to wait for me.
What am I accused of? Should I have a lawyer present?
A certain medical file has been stolen. Our friend Blessing here has been watching one of your men and believes it to be in his possession.
Who are you accusing, Blessing?
Has he shown it to you?
Who?
You were talking to him just a short time ago.
I've spoken to virtually all 12 pilots on my wing today. I am their Stapelkapitan.
Which of them do you think might have done it?
None of them.
Tell him, Blessing.
Sir Officer Himmel.
Christian Himmel. Himmel has the Knight's Cross.
What does that prove? So do you.
Please, Excuse blessing, Herr Baron. You're not under suspicion. But Unteroffizier Himmel...
Do you have evidence?
Himmel had the file in his bedside locker. I found it there early this morning. He left his quarters at 9 o'clock. My people checked his locker again. It was gone. You're the only person he saw.
This is your evidence. Anyone could have planted it, including yourself, Blessing. What does Himmel say?
He doesn't know we're onto him. We wanted to see who else was in this spy ring.
I have known Christian Himmel for 3 years. He's not interested in anything but aircraft and flying. He is not political.
What were you discussing this afternoon?
Oil leaks.
Really?
I've nothing more to say. I would stake my life on his loyalty.
That is exactly what you are doing.
How did he seem, Herr Baron? Anxious, depressed, worried about him?
He seemed his usual self.
You hesitate.
We're night fighter pilots like Dr. Starkov. It is more dangerous work than snooping in people's bedside lockers. Sometimes we wonder just how long our luck will hold out.
Why?
It's natural to feel a little apprehensive from time to time. And that is how Himmel is feeling today.
We're very interested to have this file back, and, of course, to learn who has seen it.
Christian would not do something like this.
In that case, cooperate with us and prove his innocence.
Right, I'll be happy to. And when I do, I shall be speaking to my own contacts at the Reich Chancellery in Berlin about exactly what we pilots have to put up with from you. Blessing.
At Warley Fen, the equipping, fueling and bombing up of the 16 Lancasters has been going on all day. From the cockpit of O Orange, Sam Lambert can see that bombing up is almost completed on Tommy Carter's aircraft on the stand nearest to his. What Sam couldn't possibly know was that the first victim of the raid on Krefeld was about to die.
Anything else, Batters?
No, everything checked out.
Looks like our bombs are on the way. Let's get out of here. Something like a child before the briefing.
You're coming over to the nappy, Diggers?
Yeah, in a minute. The armourers are still working on Alpha Love. I can see them.
Haven't you signed up yet, Mac?
Are you going to Orange, Sarge? I'll finish up here.
No, I'll wait for you. You want help taking the safety clip off the cooker?
Oh, it's fine.
I'll do it.
Okay, it was a big bit of metal, and you treat it with respect, particularly people like armourers and that sort of thing who were loading them. I didn't give it much of a thought about what it was really going to do. You hoped it would go off, because I have read statistics somewhere and 4 out of 10 never went off. Must have gone off later. It's not, like they wanted you to chalk things on the bombs, which you never did. That was strictly for journalists and things like that.
You all right?
There's something on the retaining jaw of the cookie.
Now, we'll leave it, Mac. Pull the clip and don't touch a thing, mate. Let's go.
I've got to check it.
You want me to have a look?
No, it's all right, Sergeant. I'll do it. Looks like it. What is it? Nick from shrapnel or something on the jaw. Come on, sneak it. Come on, let's have a closer. Oh, come on, you thing. Right. Oh, yeah!
Oh, Ruth! Get the hell away from that bomb train! It's gonna go in!
Harry, get out there!
Get the hell out of it! It's been an accident! Get help, will you? Get out of it!
Get out of there! Get down, everybody. A cookie's just dropped out of her love's bomb bay. Looks like he's got the poor shot under it. Hell's teeth. If that goes up, we're all done for.
What happened? Good nice. Didn't hear the claim.
Felt it.
What are we going to do, Skip?
Something like this happened at my last station. Leg went up in its full load, killed 20 blokes.
Maybe we should get away from the cockpit. Not this fuselage will be much protection. It's going to make a bit of a bang. Don't worry, we won't hear it.
It won't go off now, will it? I mean, if it was going to go off, it would have gone off an impact straight away.
None of it's a delayed action fuse.
Oh, Christ, I thought that was shouting.
Shut up, Batters. Sorry. Pray if you want to, but do it back there by yourself.
No, I'll stay here.
Within half an hour, the faulty release jaw was replaced, and the cookie, which was not harmed, was winched back into place. The setting of its timer had been Armourer Ian MacDonald's last job. His crushed corpse was removed to the mortuary. In less than an hour after the accident, L for Love was pronounced bombed up and ready to go. The pilot, Tommy Carter, when he heard about it, felt that the accident was an omen of bad luck, but he never said anything. Mad Scott, the tractor driver, insisted she finish her shift. And during the briefing, she drove the bomb train back to O for Orange, where its deadly load was winched into the bomb bay.
Also, we lost some of our own ground crew. One of our number was killed underneath the undercarriage of a Lancaster when there was a wrong connection. I just saw this thing go down on its knees just like a camel. And this chap was just throttled. He just couldn't do a thing.
My dear August.
Gert Burr, meanwhile, was in Altgarten writing a letter.
This letter will cause you. I have to write it, and must let you know the truth about Anna Louisa. This Anna Louisa you are now talking of marrying. Rather than seeing you make a fool of yourself, I must risk losing your friendship. It is my duty as your cousin to tell you she is far from being the innocent she seems. I am sure that if you had not been so infatuated, you would have seen this for yourself. But today, I see it is up to me.
Gert will struggle over this letter, correcting and altering it for the next hour before posting it at 5 p.m. at Altgarten's main post office in Kaiser Wilhelmstrasse. August will never receive it.
Well, Hansel, I'm glad we no longer live in Crayford. I think this is a very nice town.
Anna Louisa brings Hansel back from the railway station after a visit to a friend's house in Crayford, 7 miles away. It is now just before 3:30 p.m.
I like the city better.
What? Better than all the lovely countryside around Altgarten?
Why did Daddy leave before I got back?
They sent a car and he had to go.
I wanted to see him.
He'll be back in 2 weeks.
Could we stop at the fire station?
I don't know.
Please, Anna Louisa.
I want to get home.
Why can't we live in Crayford?
Because it's not safe there.
Thank bomb shelters. Let me look at the fire engine, Anna. Please, just 1 minute.
Good afternoon, young Hansel. Fräulein?
Johannes Ilfer, Chief Fire Commander at Altgarten, 20 years old.
He wants to have a look at the fire engine.
Of course you do. Sure thing. Have a look round.
Don't get in the way of the firemen. Is it all right?
Of course, Fräulein. Go on, young one. Have a look round. I was going to have some coffee.
Oh, no. Not today, thank you.
So, do you still want to be a fireman when you grow up, Hansel? I don't recommend it. Not in wartime. What's the matter?
Nothing.
Come into the office. Look after the young fellow, lads, will you?
No. His father went back to his unit today.
Come on, Hansel.
Well, we must all do our duty. Perhaps I'd better call round tonight when the young fellow's in bed and check your fire precautions.
You're very good at putting out fires, but not much good at lighting them, if you take my meaning. I hear you're chief now.
Promotion comes quickly in wartime. Like death. Let me see you tonight, Anna.
August has asked me to marry him.
Oh?
I've said yes.
He'll never marry you, Anna Louisa. Ah, Hansel, have a look at these pictures. British bombers, look. Lancaster, Stirling, Wellington. Don't worry, the Luftwaffe can shoot them all down.
We should be going, Hansel.
Know what this is? A 30-pound phosphorus bomb. And this is a 4-pound incendiary stick.
My father had told us about the air raid in Düsseldorf, and he knew that there were phosphorus bombs, and these bombs could not be extinguished since the phosphorus spread. It was impossible to do it, and therefore we were very afraid.
Just like that. This one. We found this in the rubble of a bombed-out house in Crefeld. It's a 500-pound general-purpose bomb. It's been fixed, don't worry. You can tell by its colour. Women, too, come in different colours. You've heard of scarlet women, Hansel?
That's enough for today.
Oh, what's the matter?
Bombs aren't a joking matter. We used to live in Crefeld. Come on, Hansel.
My mummy was killed by a bomb. She's in heaven.
Oh, come on in, Flight Lieutenant Sweet.
Station Commander's office, Warley said.
Sit yourself down.
Thank you, sir.
Cigarette?
Do you mind if I do? Thank you.
So, how are you enjoying being a Flight Commander,
Well, I must say I'd no idea how much paperwork it took to get a kite in the air.
Well, now you know where the war's really fought, eh? Saturation bombing of airfields by Air Ministry bump, and all in blasted triplicate.
Dash nuisance, especially when all a chap wants is to get out and kill Huns.
That's it, sweet. That's what we're here to do. Now,
I want your advice, sir.
Oh, fire away.
About one of my chaps, Lambert.
Lambert? Yes, I know him.
NCO.
Yeah, brought back that Halifax on 2 engines.
Damn good pilot, once. But lately...
Oh, go on, sweet.
He's acting rather strangely.
Spit it out, man.
I've just been discussing crewing with him, and the Dash chap accused me of taking his best men and trying to get him killed.
Well, the men don't like crew changes. They get to depend on each other.
Well, I know that, sir. I wouldn't do it lightly, but this is a tactical move designed to improve our hit rate.
Good show. Lambert. Yes. His navigator was shot up over Essen. What was that young man's name?
The thing is, sir, I think he might have a touch of the jitters.
Oh.
It's not just him I'm concerned about. What's the effect on the other chaps in his crew? He has a damn good navigator, a public school chap, Cohen, Gregson's replacement, and a pretty smart bomb aimer. They're wasted with a pilot who's lost his nerve.
Think you might have?
I've heard a lot of defeatist stuff from him lately. Not good for young chaps like Fleming to have to listen to that. And then there's the business of his wife.
What about his wife?
Well, it turns out she's on the base in safety.
Oh, can't be. Against regulation.
They married last year without informing Records Office.
And they're living together on the base?
It's a rented cottage in the village.
Safety section. Name?
She's a frightfully decent girl, actually. I was at Winchester with her brother.
Her name, sweet. I assume she's not known as Mrs. Lambert.
Corporal Ruth Taylor.
Oh, sometimes I think there are too many blasted NCOs in officers' jobs. I mean, that's the whole problem with the RAF these days. Look at us here at Warley. 12 pilots and 6 navigators who are officers, and all the rest ragtag and bobtails. Not enough of the public school chaps to go around.
I just thought you ought to know.
Yeah, well, I've always felt a chap who loses his nerve should be put onto something he can handle.
I couldn't agree more.
Leave it with me.
There was an Air Ministry order, and a very, in my view, an extremely cruel Air Ministry order that said anyone that refuses to do what he enlisted to do, in the main, ended up as AC-1s or LACs, whatever they were. Terrible in my view.
Oh, by the way, sir, have you heard about this experiment I'm trying with the rear turret on Lambert's aircraft?
No.
Well, the idea came to me the other morning when I opened the window to see better.
As Sweet left the group commander's office, an RAF Spitfire, a Met observation aircraft, passed high over Altgarten. The trip from England to the Ruhr and back at 420 miles per hour took just 92 minutes. The pilot scribbled the position of the cold front onto the notepad strapped to his thigh. His report would be used at the briefing. It would forecast clearest skies above the target, patchy cloud, and very little wind. To young Hanselbach, looking out of a window in his father's house in Florerstrasse, the aircraft was a dot high above him.
Look, Anna, it's a Messerschmitt.
I can't tell one aircraft from another.
It's going to kill the terror bombers.
That's enough.
Can the pilot see heaven, Anna?
No, it's much too high.
But Mummy looks down and sees me.
At Brunswick Luftwaffe night fighter station, Oberleutnant Löwenherz straps into the radar operator's seat behind Unteroffizier Christian Himmel in his Junkers 88.
Did Peter ask you to take his place for the test, Victor?
No, Christian. I ordered him to stand down. I wanted an opportunity for a private talk.
Oh, right. I see. There's the signal. Clear to take off.
The Junkers lifted at the end of the runway and climbed steeply over the black waters of the IJsselmeer. Meanwhile, 50 miles south of The Hague on the Dutch North Sea coast, huge Freyr and Würzburg radar dishes look out to sea. 200 yards from the water's edge is a group of huts joined by boardwalks. This is Radar Station Ermin. Its commander, Oberleutnant August Bach.
Oh, so you had a good evening, sir.
Unteroffizier Willy Weinecker, 46. August Bach, Senior NCO at Ermin.
Has it warmed up?
Thank you, Willie.
Reasonable journey from Crefeld?
Altgarten.
Oh, yes. Oh, sir. You moved, didn't you? I know Altgarten. Been through it a few times. Medieval town centre, famous old church.
Deep throw kick. The stove's nice and warm. It's freezing out there.
Might have hot chocolate or something.
You think of everything, Willie. You join me?
Oh, right.
We'll have a drop of brandy with it.
What news from home? Your boy, Hansel. How is he?
It's growing too fast. Oh, thanks. Just to, destruction of the Tommies.
Any word of Paul?
You heard the bad news from Kharkov? They say it's a tactical withdrawal, but reading between the lines... no, I've heard nothing.
There'll be something one of these days.
Between you and me, Willie, I'm worried. When you're young, you take such risks.
We both did, certainly.
I was just telling somebody today, Paul is almost exactly the age I was when I shot down my first English pilot.
There you are.
I hope to God this is all over before Hansel reaches an age to get involved.
Me too, sir.
Right. Charge report.
Nothing too serious, sir. Young Roy Barker and his mate Danziger were arrested drunk in town. The other 3 are conduct prejudicial.
Right.
2 more of our bicycles have been nicked.
When was this?
Last night, sir. The Dutch civilian police have been informed. Those bike thieves must be trembling in their closets, I don't think. This is the latest intelligence report. Looks like they're planning something big tonight.
We'll see soon enough. Billy, I've some good news to tell you.
Oh, I thought I saw a likeness in your step.
Yeah. I'm getting married again.
Who's the lucky woman?
Anna Louisa, of course.
Oh, your rad girl?
Well, yes, she came to us as a rad girl, Vinny, but she was always more than that. Even before Lena was killed, she was special to us. She's less than half my age, but this afternoon I told her how I felt, and, well, she feels the same way.
Well, congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
I don't believe it, Sam.
The Naffy, Warley, Sam, Digby and Sam Lambert.
Me neither, but it's true. He's not going to get away with it. I mean, don't get me wrong, Skip. It's not the idea of leaving you. It's the thought of flying with Sweet, Skipper.
Thanks, Digby. Well, we might all be dead before tomorrow. Where are you going?
To sort it out.
Leave it. Tell me we were at the briefing.
The time I got a bit worried was when I walked in the briefing room and they showed you where that red ribbon was. I think, God, I didn't want to go there.
Our own accord.
You think the old groupie was going to back for England, Skip? Probably thinks he is.
Okay, chaps. Sit down and play on.
Sorry I'm late, Skip.
Mr. Thingbatters, you feeling better?
Just a touch of the runs. I'll be fine.
Don't come if you're going to want us to get on the cars all night.
Something I ate, Skip. I'm all right now.
Good lad.
No, not the old type routine. I think groupie first himself as Bobo.
I like his brother.
You know Bobo, but a brother?
No.
Oh, yeah.
Appalling.
Now, the target for tonight is Crefeld in the room.
Oh, Happy Valley. No wonder you got an attack of the run.
We'll be part of the first wave and supporting 8 group Pathfinder force. Let's put on a damn good show. Take off 70:45, 0 hour 20:30. With you at 0 plus 1. Captain Ludlow?
Group Captain Ludlow, 27. Navigation leader, 38 trips.
Assembly point at the south pole, 12 to 15,000 feet. Get up to 18,000 feet before you get to my yellow marker here on the Dutch coast. Then turn towards the target. Any questions? Good. Keep together. If you get out of the stream, use your G to get back on track. That's what it's for, and it'll work a clear way towards Happy Valley.
Yeah. We weren't airmen going out to bomb German towns. We were schoolboys going out to raid a rival school. It was the sort of feeling that was abroad. It was unreal.
Now, there will be over 700 plus bombers over Krakow receiving chaps. So keep your positions on heights and, for God's sake, no crossing the bombers, please. That's how collisions happen. Then turn off the target, gain speed by losing height. But don't go below 8,000 feet as you pass northeast on the way back. The route is plotted to avoid the black concentrations at Rotterdam on the way out and off Amsterdam on the way back. Any questions? Sir, this is Reed. Any chance of avoiding flak over the target? The alert chaps seem pretty sure it'll be cloudy over Krakow, which will make their searchlights less effective. Does that answer your
Won't affect the radar-controlled attack, though, will it?
With all that kind?
No problem, Skip.
Fear of being thought fearful was greater than the actual fear of going on a bombing raid.
"10,000 feet over the North Sea. Christian Himmel brings the Junkers 88 level.
Pilot to radio operator. Yes, Himmel? Feel under your seat. What? Under your seat. I've left something for you. Luftwaffe High Command Medical Corps. Secret. Why have you got this? Have a look through it. Freezing experiments on human beings. They've been killing prisoners in concentration camps, freezing them to death. Where did you get this? Have a look at it, Lambert. I don't think I want to. Did you think this was what we're fighting for? It's not our business, Himmel. It is. These sadistic pigs are doing it in our name. It says Luftwaffe on the cover, see? What are you going to do with it? Let people know what's going on. What people? The British. Our own people. We Germans aren't barbarians. Read it, Victor. You can talk freely. I turned the wireless off. When I saw it on Thurb's desk, saw the photographs. You stole this from the medical center. That's one of our own flagships. They fired everything in the sky, idiots. You all right? What? Now just flick through it, look at the photographs, and you'll understand why I took it. I wish you hadn't. What could I do? Turn the other way? Concentration camps, exterminating people in medical experiments. Don't know a thing about it. I can't do it. Damn conscripts. Don't worry. We're out of range. That would be the biggest joke. Surviving all this time to get shot by your own side. Yes. Wouldn't it?
Thank you all. Any further questions? See me afterwards.
Here comes Johnny. Shut up and crash landed 3 times. Not a scratch on him.
Afternoon, chap. Settle down.
Squadron leader Jamie Giles, bombing leader on tonight's operation.
Before, but I don't give a monkey's. Listen again. First up, Pathfinder mosquitoes. They'll mark the target with red flares. Their equipment's far more up-to-date than ours, so they're rare of what to look for. If you can't see them, then go for the middle of this square of green.
Are you all right, Skipper? Just resting my eyes.
You look tired, sir. You okay?
I've got to go again.
Sorry. Leave your book. I'll take any notes.
You all right?
Something you didn't eat upset his stomach. He'll be okay once the wheels lift. Who is it, Cohen?
There was a fly on your shoulder.
Leave him alone. Maybe the poor sod's at the end of his second tour.
The reality of death and the likelihood of death was so obvious, so patent, that it was accepted and it was trivialized in terms like getting the chop and going for a Burton. Your friend wasn't killed last night, he brought you. Intelligence officer Longfellow.
Tonight, we are attacking Krakow. You are attacking Krakow.
You can come with us, sir.
You can sit on mine, sir. Over. That's a word for you, bombing.
I said this before, but I think it's worth saying again. Some of you are still dropping your bombs earlier and short of target. I like that. First light, please, Corporal. This photograph was taken 3 minutes into the raid on Essen last week. Next one. 5 minutes in. Next. 7 minutes in. You see the bombs landing further and further away from the centre as the raid progresses. You know the name for this. It is called creepback. Some people say the reason for creepback is often illusion. But I think it's more about crews getting cold feet. I know people are reluctant to talk about it. But I want no bloody creepback tonight, clear? Do the plastic job properly, hit Krefeld, not the countryside around it. All right, I know when flak is coming up, everyone gets itchy fingers.
Although it was never told to crews at briefing, Bomber Command in fact made allowance for creepback by having target indicators dropped on the far side of the area they wanted destroyed.
Countryside, why aren't we sending you all the way to Germany? We've got plenty of potatoes peeled here at home.
Bloody old tier warriors, look like the last drop of some other fucking blood.
We were all of us launched on a sort of wave of fate, I suppose, almost, and we were rolled along by it, questioning of the objective of what we were doing. Bomber crews being very individual and not going much forth or the usual disciplines. Somehow it wouldn't extend to asking that sort of question.
Go out there tonight and rip the guts out of the hiding critter!
Sir! How's Chief? What are you doing, Sam? Sit down, mate.
It's all right, Dippy. I'm going to ask you a question.
Sir!
Yes?
I'd like to know exactly what are the guts of Krefeld, sir?
What?
Flight Sergeant Sam Lambert, B-Flight. My question is, what exactly are we aiming at in the centre of that city? Tenements? People's houses? I mean, what's there? Hospitals? What?
Good question, Mr. Lambert. Tell the men what you're destroying, Mr. Lambert. I don't think any of them are fifth columnists. The Deutsche Edelstahlwerk, that's a major steelworks, and a Gestapo...
In my experience, they were always viable targets relating to industry, but never specifically just the workers' dwellings.
You're right, Skipper. Yeah, what's the matter? What's they were going to bomb it anyway?
Haven't very much to add to what you already have.
Well, Mr. Sweet, I see what you mean about Lambert. Maybe unsettled the whole squadron. Well done, Longfellow. Good work. Thank you, sir.
One rotten apple. That's all it takes, sir.
Lambert's definitely got a touch of the jitters. They better have him out of Warley before he infects anyone else.
Thank you, Mr. Green. Now, the message from Met. Mr. Younger.
Thank you, Lieutenant.
There was an alternative, but it was called LMF, lack of moral fibre. And if you can imagine some poor boy going through what they went through for, say, 20 flights, and then he cracks, and he's thrown out, muck, scum on the lack of moral fibre.
You couldn't say I've had enough. You could. And what was it? LMF, lack of moral fibre. And you were invalided out and stripped and cleaning out the latrines or whatever, you see. Work's job. And a certain amount of ignominy with it. I suppose today you'd see a psychiatrist and get compensation or something like that.
Oh no. You went back because, that was the alternative and you couldn't face that alternative of LMF.
Freezing cloud between 17 and 20,000. Winds northeasterly around 20 miles per hour over the target, and less than, say, 15 to 17 on the route.
The Met man's outline of the weather situation was based on a forecast which showed the curving line of the low front, in places, more than 200 miles in error.
Come on.
Brunswick Luftwaffe Station. Oberleutnant Victor Löwenherz waits for the phone to be answered at Military Intelligence HQ.
Dr. Starkov, please.
I was expecting you to ring from Löwenherz.
Well, how did you know it was me?
I understand you've been making inquiries.
Yes, sir. Yes. I've spoken to Dr. Firth at the medical centre. He confirmed the file was taken.
Does Himmel still have the file?
I have it here.
Himmel has sent you a copy?
Well, not exactly.
Any letter with it?
Letter?
You seem rather confused here, Oberleutnant.
There's no letter. There's only the document.
Good.
What do you want me to do with it?
Hold on to it until I see you tomorrow.
I've no safe.
It's not as secret as all that. I have 14 other copies on my desk.
14?
It has been widely circulated officially to medical units at Luftwaffe stations.
I see.
There is no need for you to worry about one copy. Himmel has been sending them to many people, too. I can't imagine why yours has not been intercepted.
This is an official report, then?
Vice Marshal Goering himself sent a letter of congratulation to its author.
Have you read it?
Yes.
And?
What do you want me to say?
I found it rather shocking.
We are at war, Herr Oberleutnant. Maybe this research will save you from freezing to death one day if you come down to the North Sea. Ask yourself, who would you rather see die of cold, yourself or some troublemaking Jews?
What about Himmel?
He'll be arrested first thing tomorrow. I'm sure you agree it's preferable we do it rather than blessing.
Well, not much more to say about tonight, gentlemen.
At Warley Fen, the briefing ends, as always, with the squadron commander, Wing Commander Munro.
Should be well clear of them. Good. Our big raid tonight, 700 plus aircraft, will be joined by Sterling.
They'll take brunt of it. What? Sterling's lumber along occasion. Easier target for night fighters. And they fly lower. They couple the joint with the flag.
Let's have no evasive action over the target, gentlemen. There won't be any night fighters, not if there's black flying, which there will be. At your bombing height of 18,000 feet, you will be out of range of light flight anyway. Keep your course straight and level, and navigators, have those return routes plotted for after your bomb run. Again, just keep in the stream and you'll be home and dry. It's a well-planned show, chaps. Let's set our watches. It is 15:51. Now. Good luck, everyone.
Mr. Sweet, a word before you go.
Yes, Wing Commander?
These crew reshuffles. Bad biz.
Not awfully sure I know what you mean, sir.
If anyone wants to change crews, tell them to come and see me.
You mean Digby and Cohen, sir?
Yes, I mean Digby and Cohen, Mr. Sweet.
Well, they were requests, sir. Digby isn't at all happy about Lambert.
Look, before you go on, let me tell you, I've just had Flight Sergeant Digby, Royal Australian Air Force, in my office.
Oh.
He flatly refuses to leave Lambert's crew, and he says if he's forced to, he'll get in touch with Australia House.
Well, he had no right.
Go over your head. Mr. Sweet, you're lucky he only came to me and didn't ring up the Australian Prime Minister. Forget Sergeant Digby, even if he is one of the best bomb aimers in the squadron.
Cohen hasn't complained, has he, sir?
No.
Perhaps if I just move Cohen then, sir.
Yes, take Cohen. That's all, Mr. Sweet.
Good luck tonight, sir.
Yes, Chiefy?
Your night flying test, sir.
Thank you. A very trying young man.
Going places, I understand, sir.
So don't say I don't do the best I can for you, Sam. I had to transfer Cohen, but at least they saw sense over the bomb aimer.
Can I go and get kitted up now?
Word to the wise, Sambo. Groupie is rather concerned about your defeatist attitude.
My what?
Asking about the target like that. Bad show.
Some of us won't be coming back tonight. I just thought we should know what we're dying for, that's all.
Okay. Oh, sorry, Skip. The crew's waiting.
Tell them to go to supper without me, Batty.
Sir. It's talk like that gets people killed.
Listen, you. I've done 47 trips. 20 more than you. I know what it's like to bring back dead crew. I've had friends screaming through the intercom for me to finish them off. But I've gone out again the next night. And the next, and the next. But I know my luck's running out now. So get off my back.
You've a touch of the jitters, that's all.
Anyone going off to Happy Valley who hasn't is a fool. Excuse me, sir.
A flying milk. The joy of joys to aircrew. It was always eggs and bacon. They would always be joking, almost exhilarated. It was possibly a reaction that they knew that they were going to go on and off. They knew that they were afraid inwardly. They weren't going to show it to anybody outwardly.
Roll on. 10 more optimistic tours.
Oh, don't give us that flash. You sign up for another tour. It's better than going back to the pits, isn't it, man?
I'm not going down pit again. Nice office job, me after war. Clean nails, collar and tie.
You see your flying socks, Binty?
Tell what I'm looking forward to as well, Binty.
No,
Getting away from you.
Why don't you fellas give it a rest? I'm fighting over a bloody shirt is a waste of time.
Who's that, then?
You get your letter off, Jimmy.
Yeah, Tar. I reckon you know, Diggers, it's that stupid old mother who's put the wind up her. You know, saying little Tommy might have diphtheria or TB.
Yeah, bet the little fella's right as rainbow now.
Yeah. I told her what you said about babies getting over things quick, like.
Good.
Sometimes I think this luck is better suited to guys with no responsibilities.
Yeah, how'd you work that one out?
Well, keep your mind on the job. Only got yourself to worry about.
Yeah? Skipper's married.
We could see the new Cicely Courtnage musical, Mummy's Friend, Sybil. Saw it last week and says it's super.
I don't mind.
Sam, tonight's op. Is it...
Piece of cake.
Good. Look, Sam, about what Mummy said about Terry's...
Forget it.
It's true, he did ask me out several times, and I went with him once to a school dance. He was a frightful bore, and I never went again. He used to come to the house with Tim, but I avoided him like the plague. That's the whole story, honestly.
I shouldn't. I'm sorry, Ruth.
He's nowhere near as good looking as you are. I love you, Sam.
It's nearly 4. I have to go.
Oh, Miss Crusoe.
I'd rather spend the time with you.
You look tired.
Don't wait for me tonight.
In less than 2 hours, the 16 Lancasters will take off from Warley Fen, and the German flak and night fighters will be waiting for them. As Sam Lambert walked away from his wife that afternoon, he was afraid. Afraid he would never see her again.
The one girl was engaged, and her boyfriend was to have finished his tour of ops, and they were going to get married that week. And the very last of his first tour, he was shot down.
I said, "You're married and you've got 2 young kids." He said, "I know." He said, "But I'm not worried." He said, "God will look after me." He says, "He knows my wife and 2 kids, they're dependent on me." He got the chop that night.
In Krefeld, as afternoon turns to evening, the band of the local Bund Deutscher Mädchen has almost finished its march. Today, as every Saturday, they have been collecting donations of money, food and clothing for bombed-out people. The girls are cold and tired now, but it's been worth it. People will need hot soup and warm clothing if the British come over tonight. Some 7 miles away, Walter Reisman, the Burgomeister of Altgarten, sat by his cosy hearth and overheard his daughters upstairs practicing their party pieces. He was looking forward to his birthday dinner that night at Frenzel's. So why did he feel so emotional? Brunswick Luftwaffe night fighter station.
Dieter, have you seen Christian Himmel?
Haven't you heard, Victor?
Heard what?
CO's just told us. His father died in Munich this morning.
His father?
He's off on immediate compassionate leave. He left for the railway station before we got back.
Well, why wasn't I informed?
Blessing and his men are giving him a lift into town.
Blessing?
In charge of the foreign cleaners. Must have moved quickly for once in his life.
Oh. I see.
Pretty rotten news.
Yes. Thanks, Dieter. I expect there's a note in my room.
See you later.
Löwenherz felt tears prick his eyes. He knew Christian Himmel's father had died when he was a boy. In the workroom of his house in Altgarten, the tailor Voss thought about the timing of his supper. There was a concert relay on the wireless at 9, Beethoven's Choral Symphony. Voss wanted to eat and clear away before it started. He saw his neighbour's young son and his childminder pass on their way home. She was a pretty little thing, that Anna Louisa. Voss didn't notice the Kugelwagen parked across the street, or SS Officer Fischer, who was watching his house and waiting for dark. Herr Voss would hear no concert tonight. It was almost 4 o'clock on that afternoon of the 18th of February, 1943. At radar station Ermin, August Bach looked out at the dark skies above the North Sea. Hundreds of British bombers would come this way tonight. In spite of his woolen greatcoat, August suddenly felt a chill course through his body.
Earlier, we heard the mission being planned and prepared. Now, at 1740 hours, 16 bomb-laden RAF Lancasters are about to take off and head for Germany's industrial heartland.
I was just 20 when I did my first operation. I mean, 20 and a couple of weeks. 20 and 2 weeks, yeah. Our skipper was 23, I think, and we called him Dad. He was an old man. He had a moustache, you see.
16 Lancasters are now moving around the perimeter track to the runway.
When you were dressing, not much talk. All picking up your stuff, climbing on board, and once you got in there, the stink and the smell and the horrible things, stink. And cold. I've never been so cold, never in my life.
In a few minutes, Orange, captained by Flight Sergeant Sam Lambert, will take off as part of a maximum effort bombing raid to the Ruhr. Over 700 other aircraft from airfields all over eastern England will do the same, heading for a rendezvous over Southwold in Suffolk. Air crews went on board to do their pre-flight checks an hour ago. 15 minutes ago, they started up engines. And now, all of them have left their dispersal stands. And the first is taking off, Wing Commander Munro's Lancaster R. Roger. The others queue along the peritrack to the runway.
We were there to bomb Germany. We weren't an elite squadron. We weren't the sort of dam-busters or anybody like this. We were just lobbing bombs out in Germany.
One aircraft every 90 seconds will take off until all 16 are airborne. It seems longer than an hour and a half ago that they were collecting their parachutes.
I think someone's broken back, Digby. Says it didn't work.
Come on, have to say it every...
Get a move on, Gallagher. You're holding us up.
It wants a different colour.
Hey, something is pink, is it, Gallagher?
Keep it moving, Binty.
Carrying their parachute packs and crew bags, they move to the crew locker room. Here they don their flying kit.
Dressed up to the nines, flying boots, silk stockings, white things, underneath zip, like a eider-down type thing, zip down, then the other waterproof thing on top. Old-fashioned helmet, 19, 20,000, 21,000 feet. So option essential, 10 to 11.
When will we be back tonight? We have got some heavy action in Peterborough before daybreak.
I'll put my foot down all the way. How's that been?
I didn't get yourself a single bit of skirt.
All the best single crumpet has been taken by the Yanks. Anyway, it's a serious thing, Rosie and me.
It's serious, all right, if old man gets all here. Stomach okay now, Batters?
Oh, thanks, Coach. I feel fine.
Tell Maisie I like my Bovra like my women. Strong and meaty.
Don't forget personal belongings, letters and stuff into the lockers and leave the keys. I don't want to have to break it open if anything happens.
Figure that, I'm coming back.
After you, Claude. After you, Cecil.
It wasn't only the RAF who listened to the radio while they got ready.
We love to hear Glenn Miller, you may believe or not. Fantastic music. The German music was not so good. It was a It was not such this progressive dance music. We had to be careful because it was forbidden that time to listen to BBC.
That was in the evening, perhaps at 6 o'clock. There was a meeting for the pilots, for the radio operators, and for the radio operators on the earth. Then the commander told us what he was waiting for this night, and he had heard from the division already a great raid from the English bombers. Then we went to the rooms for waiting. Pilot Sam Lambert and flight engineer Ted Battersby still have checks to do as the aircraft taxis to the runway.
Right, neutral. Okay, Step.
The aircraft is carrying 1,400 plus gallons of fuel and a full load of bombs. With all that weight, it's a wonder it will take off at all. Sam knows sometimes they don't.
Ready for takeoff. Okay.
Navigation to pilot, intercom check.
Pilot to navigator, read you loud and clear, Cone.
No talk of the fear which grips each man as Orange lines up. Batters is thinking of Mad Scott, the WAAF driver who drove them out to the stand tonight.
Hello? All set?
Oh, it's you.
B-flight?
Yes.
Oh, I'm driving you out tonight, then.
Oh, good.
Can you do us a favour, Batters?
Sure.
But I don't know which aircraft's which. You're an O for Orange, aren't you?
The third circle on the left, off the ferry track.
So, which is S for sugar?
2 past us. I'll sit up front with you and give directions.
It's cold, isn't it? Why don't we go sit in the cab?
I think to say good luck was accepting even to yourself that they could not come back, you know. So I don't think one would really say that.
Oh, that's better. Get the weight off my feet.
Who's your skipper again?
Sam Lambert.
Well, I'm going to tell him to look after you tonight.
Oh, Sam will look after us all right. When the flak starts, she says, see the way he makes that kite dodge and weave around the sky.
And you sit beside him, like this. You can kiss us if you want.
We were trying to tell ourselves that this really wasn't life and death. You know, I don't think you could have really coped with it otherwise. Those that didn't come back, we probably were the last people. Last women, I suppose, that they saw.
Need up back to toilet. Any chance of a night off?
Sorry, Binty. Butch Harris told me himself on the blower this afternoon he's really set his mind on you going. Pilot to Bomber. All right down there, Digby.
Got a good view of chocolate taggies. It's not a pretty sight.
In the clear perspex nose of the Lancaster is the bomb-aimer's position. It was forbidden for anyone to be in there for takeoff, but Digby liked it. He wasn't bothered about bending rules.
Wearing a kilt, is he, Digby? Spoiling the lot, mate. Sit up where the breeze of the wind gets up.
There was tremendous electric energy, and you did sweep it under the carpet.
They behaved artificially, their laughter was artificial, and I can only think that the whole thing was a safety valve.
It wasn't etiquette to talk, oh, well, it's a real lousy target tonight, you know. Just gritted your teeth. And so everyone sort of gave a shudder, and, well, that's it. We've got to go there. We're going.
Tell me when you're ready.
Will do, Skip.
There goes our love. Not bad. Feel okay?
Sam's wife, Ruth Lambert, a WAAF corporal working on the base in safety and rescue, has joined a small crowd of well-wishers to see them off. It's cold and wet, but about 35 ground crew, WAAFs and motor transport people huddle in their greatcoats near the controller's hut. Mad Scott, the WAAF driver, is there. Flight Sergeant Worthington, chief of Orange's ground crew, is there too. After all, Orange is as much his aircraft as it is Sam's.
She's a good old girl, Sam. Plenty of guts. Bring her back to one piece if you can.
Do my best, Chiefy.
What do you think about WAAF who drove us out tonight, Skip?
Didn't notice about as well.
Nothing. Lucky, is it?
Wait for me instead, I'll go by us. There goes Fleming. We're next.
Yep.
The green Aldis lamp by the controls hut lights up.
Right, stand by for takeoff. Good luck, everyone. Rev 3000, 12 times 3.0 up full power button.
Say it again, Skip. Yep.
Brakes up.
Brakes up.
We're rolling.
Orange moves slowly off down the runway, gathering speed as she goes. Those have come to see them off way, but Sam's eyes are on the runway ahead. He needs all his strength to keep her nose straight. The mid-upper gunner Binti waves and gives a thumbs up, so the splash in the rear turret.
The takeoff was the most dangerous time. You've just got to lift off this huge weight of bombs and fuel. And if they did hit the ground, then that would be the end of everything. It would be a monstrous explosion. Absolutely monstrous explosion. Not an atom of a chance. There'd just be a lot of pieces, that's it.
Take care. I love you.
So the mission is underway, but it doesn't go according to plan, and there are catastrophic consequences for a quiet German town. We're following in real time an Allied bombing mission and getting the viewpoint of participants on all sides of the conflict as a terrifying and brutal drama unfolds in the air and on the ground in Britain and in Germany. It's now 1950 hours, and as Luftwaffe crews await tonight's battle, the RAF Lancasters approach what they believe to be their target.
You sometimes, on the different legs, picked up silhouettes of members of the bomb string. Moonlight night, though, you pick them up easily. Yeah.
The whole thing, from the moment you take off to land again, was encased in a ball of fear. I mean, the only counter, as far as I'm concerned, was she was kept busy.
How goes the time, Digby?
Just gone 10 to 8, Skip.
After that, Trump.
After pilot, 15 minutes to Dutch coast, Skip.
RAF Lancaster WF 183, call sign O Orange, crossing the North Sea as part of a 700-plus operation to bomb Krefeld in the Ruhr. The first bombs will fall at 0 hour 8:30 p.m. Sam Lambert, her pilot, is flying his 48th mission. This is the story of the last flight of O Orange, nicknamed Creaking Door, and also of the many men and women, British and German, whose lives were changed that night of Saturday, the 18th of February, 1943.
Navigation to pilot.
Come in, Coach.
Any of the rest of them, Skip?
Negative. No problem.
They're unhappy about wind strength, Skip. Keeps pushing us off course.
Simon Cohen, navigator on O Orange, sits at a small table some 6 feet behind Sam.
Better check it out.
Some 40 miles away from Creaking Door, Luftwaffe Oberleutnant August Bach, commanding officer of radar station Ermin on the Dutch coast, enters the control hut.
A big operation.
Enough to keep us busy here, Oberleutnant.
This is Willy Reinecker, senior NCO at radar station Ermin, August Bach's right-hand man.
This night, North Germany. That means we called the night fighter units from South Germany in the afternoon to North Germany. Number one. We warned the industry, we warned the railway, medical units, and so on.
Likely target?
It's too early to say, Herr Oberleutnant. Heading just north of us. Hamburg, Cologne?
You've alerted the flak units in Antwerp, Breda, Rotterdam?
Being done, Oberleutnant.
In the center of the room is a frosted glass table on which is etched a map of their area, showing the North Sea and 60 miles inland across Holland and Western Germany.
Send a signal.
Defense of this area is Ermin's responsibility. Similar radar stations form a wide belt between Britain and the heart of Germany.
Castle.
Two plotting girls positioned below the map shine colored points of light upwards onto the table's surface. A red light represents a bomber. Soon, a moving point of blue light will be on the table to represent the position of a German night fighter.
I hate cloud. Let's try to get above it. 2850, Vappers.
2850.
Let's hope it's not all the way to our ceiling, Skip.
That's it, pilot. Cheer me up.
It is pitch dark, except for the luminous glow from the dials in the cockpit, and the dull light from the G and the newfangled radar set H2S on Cohen's navigation table.
I mean, on a night raid, it was really just flying blindly in complete darkness. It could have been Germany, it could have been Tibet, really, underneath.
Keep an eye on that starboard inner, Batters.
I'll check all the gauges.
18 years of age, Sergeant Ted Battersby, flight engineer on Over Orange.
Give it a bit more throttle. Could be a flag. She's coughing like an old banger.
Are you all right, Skip?
Yes, I'm fine.
I'm afraid of dying, sir.
I'm afraid of the rest of them dying because of some stupid mistake I make. It's all down to me.
Of course it isn't.
Who else? I'm the pilot. Every bugger depends on me.
You can't take the blame for everything that goes wrong.
I move the control wheel, the plane gets hit. I don't move it, we still get hit. Hard to know what to do. I keep dreaming of Gregson.
19,000! Still cloudy, Skip.
Maintain climb.
150 miles an hour, Skip.
Pilot to bomb aimer.
Yes, sir.
Any sign of this cloud breaking up?
Negative, Skip. But you know what I wish, Sam? I wish I was standing with a foaming pipe out the dog and duck.
Yeah.
The best bloody bomber ever, the Avro Lancaster. Oh, here we go. I've fought any man here who has a bad word to say for the Lancaster, or creaking door in particular.
You never said that the first time he flew her, diggers. Oh, no. Proper scared he was. Thought the forward hatch door was going to open under him.
We're coming up on target, right? I'm laying on the forward hatch in a bomb aimer's position, and the door keeps making this funny noise.
You imagine it, boyo.
I bloody heard it, you little Welsh milkman. I mean, I'm lying on the flame.
No. Skipper says, I can't do nothing. Nobody could, only him.
When we got back, I said to Sam Lambert, Sam, I said, get that flaming creaking door down on your drift sheet. Have Worthy's men take her apart before some bloody bomb aimer finds himself sailing down into Hunland on the back of a blockbuster. And you know what he said?
We'll be out on this plane, digger. The creaking door hangs the longest.
Yappy bloody dog.
Nav to pilot, the G's being jammed, Skip. We're south of track. Adjustment to course, turn left, 020 degrees.
Pilot to navigator, give me that again, Kosher.
Turn 020 degrees port, Sam.
Roger. I feel a bit happier once we've cleared this cloud.
We went into our waiting rooms, already dressed, with our combination and the life vest we had on. We did not smoke, of course, because this is reducing your air sight. We were eating carrots. So we were waiting there, playing cards, reading books, and the light was not so bright, and we waited. And then we waited very often for hours.
27 young German flyers, pilots and their radar operators and observers kill time at Luftwaffe night fighter station Krunsvig in northern Holland.
Here we go.
I'll tell you later.
Go on, Werner. Rudy, your hat. Rudy. Dieter, did Christian Himmel say anything to you before he left this afternoon?
I told you, Victor. I didn't see him. None of us did.
Yes, I know.
He'd gone off with Blessing before we got back from our flying tests. Shame his old man dying suddenly like that.
Yes.
So strange, too.
What?
Go on, Manfred. I'll catch you up. Himmel always said his pappy died when he was a kid. This is something to do with that file he saw about the concentration camps, isn't it?
What file?
That file that Himmel... Forget I spoke, Herr Oberleutnant.
And you forget anything he told you?
Yes, sir, Herr Oberleutnant, I have already. At least we now know why Blessing is always sneaking around our billet.
Sam Lambert's Lancaster climbs through clouds. The altimeter reached 20,000 feet.
I want you to see the turning point, please. Pilot to navigator.
Nav here, Skip.
Not exactly where we are yet, Coach. Hang on. I can see 2 patches of searchlights to port.
Could be The Hague or Rotterdam. I'm working out another correction. The wind's got even stronger.
O for Orange carried 2 navigational aids. G, a precise system of radio beacon grid lines that did not extend accurately into Germany and was easily jammed. Cohen also had a new device installed less than a month ago, a primitive radar known as H2S. It was prone to malfunction, but at least the Germans didn't know how to jam it yet.
Navigator to pilot. You can have some straight and steady. Now the clouds are breaking. I want to do a star shot.
Roger, Coach.
Cohen's father had taught him to navigate on his yacht, so Cohen preferred to use a sextant for star shots, and they had been in cloud for over half an hour.
Well, where those 2 lines crossed, of course, is where you were. Remembering never where you are.
Aboard his Junkers 88 at Brunswick Night Fighter Station, Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenhertz and his crew run through final checks. Ahead, the runway is lit by searchlights.
Radar working, Rudy. Yes, sir, Oberleutnant. Remember the binoculars this evening, Observer Werner? Yes, sir, Oberleutnant.
The mechanic and lookout Werner sits at the pilot's right shoulder. Rudy Sachs, the 18-year-old radar operator, sits behind them. The cabin isn't much larger than a family car.
Capsule 1, clear to take off. Proceed to Lambert Station only. Circle radio beacon. Church steeple 7,000 meters.
Sorry, Rudy. Oberleutnant. The takeoff well, sir. Airspeed, please.
They were overloaded, no doubt about it. Especially if you had additional tanks under the wings. By these high, sophisticated antennas, we had the SN2, we called it, then we had the Liechtenstein. Then a few additional more antennas. You had to apply additional power and additional speed to get airborne.
Night fighter on its way, sir.
Radar station Ermin, 75 miles from Brunswick.
Who do we have? We have 2 Ju-88s from 1st Division of Brunswick. Call signs Capsule 1 and 5. 5 will be here first.
Let me know as soon as you have them on the plotting table.
Sir. Looks to be at least 400 Tommies.
Really? There'll be plenty for us to do then.
Capsule 1 is Victor von Löwenhertz, sir. Shot down 6 the other night. We'll give them a run for their money.
Navigator to pilot.
Go ahead, Cohen.
We're about 25 miles south of the stream, Sam. Jimmy just got the new winds on the hour from group.
Weather had changed while you were actually in the air. Whatever the aircraft who'd gone out in the morning and sent back their weather report to base while they were actually over Germany, that would have been perhaps 8 or 10 or even 12 hours before you got airborne. The weather was possibly after the German fighter and attack, weather was our third worst enemy, no doubt about it.
Working it out, Skip. The winds they gave us were well out.
Even more lost, some 10 miles further south of Ofer Orange, was another Lancaster from Warley Fen. Call sign S for Sugar. Its pilot was commander of B Flight, Flight Lieutenant Terry
Give me a bloody headache, Billy!
Sorry, Skip. I'm just calculating it.
Give me strength!
Correction. Turn 025 degrees left, Skip.
I don't want a blasted correction, Billy! Give me a heading to get me back into the stream!
Navigator to pilot.
Get on with it!
I calculated for 15 miles per hour. It seems to be more like 40 miles per hour.
Stop faffing about! We don't want to get booted out the backside by flak from Aachen or Maastricht.
Turn left 90 degrees.
Turning 90 degrees port. Pilot's a bomb aimer.
Yes, sir.
Stop waggling that forward turret.
Like to keep her on the move, Skip.
Well, keep her still a second. Useless bloody navigator.
He's only had the H2S a couple of weeks, Skip. He's doing his best.
Not jolly well good enough, Murphy. Cohen's coming to us tomorrow. He's a half-decent navigator.
And Sam Lambert's okay about the switch, is he?
Just keep your eye on the engines, flight engineer. I can handle Lambert. A spent force, Mickey. That's what he is. Just be thankful you're flying with me.
I'm very sure that I was successful in some cases because a real gunner did not see me. But he could not see me and I could see him better. Especially if I took the advantage of a technical position to come from below.
Because one of the frightening things was
that the enemy fighter could see the four exhausts of your aeroplane. One of the most frightening things of all, when you saw other Lancasters' exhausts, think to yourself, Christ, do we look like that?
Orange is heading across Holland at a height of 21,000 feet, as high as it will go.
Rear guard to pilot.
Yes, Flash, what is it?
Oh, it's all right, Skip. I can see a couple of lights just below us to starboard.
Good man, Flash. Pilot to navigator, good show, Coach. Looks like we're getting back on track.
Radar station early. On the cliff above the beach, the Freya radar aerials turn, named after the legendary Nordic goddess who could see 100 miles day and night. They are now jammed by special bombers in the stream. Cities along the Ruhr sound bombing alerts as the front of the stream heads towards them south of Rotterdam. Some 100 meters away from the Freya, the Wartsburg radar tracking dishes move silently, following the bombers as they cross the area. These dishes, with their narrower beams, are the ones that track individual aircraft. 100 miles to the southeast of the radar tracking station, the small medieval German town of Altgarten. Opposite the 16th century church of Lieberfrau is Frenzel's restaurant, where Walter Reisman, Burgomeister of Altgarten, is hosting a dinner party to celebrate his birthday.
Why is it grocers always know such risque Germans? I heard that one from a politician, Herr Burgomeister. Good turnout, Herr Burgomeister, but luxury is always a draw. More champagne, sir. Thank you.
So, what do you make of this news of your cousins, eh?
What news?
August and... Oh, don't come innocent with me, Gerd. August. Marrying his little rad girl, Anna Louisa.
You shouldn't listen to gossip, Walter. He went back to his radar station this afternoon.
He told me himself in here at lunchtime.
Really?
August couldn't keep his hands off her. Not that I blame him. She's got a cheeky little body. Must be half his age. I mean, that boy of his.
Hansel?
Hansel, yes. I mean, what kind of mother will she make for him? You know her reputation.
Well, everyone does. Except August. I've tried to... He's infatuated.
Pretty little thing, good fun, no doubt, but marriage?
No. In war, men do strange things.
Drive on.
A Kubelwagen of the Waffen-SS leaves the Wald Hotel in Altgarten with 2 men inside. Sturmbannführer Fischer and his driver, returned from the Eastern Front, have business with Herr Voss, the tailor, in Florerstrasse. Business that can only be done in the darkness of night.
Turn left here.
As the car turns into Florerstrasse and approaches the old tailor's house, it passes the house of August Bach, commanding officer at radar station Ernit. Inside, his 10-year-old son Hansel is listening to the radio.
Time for your bath, Hansel. Do I have to go to bed now, Anna Louisa? Well, of course you do. Big boys need their sleep. What do you do when I'm asleep? I have a letter to write to your father, and I want to be able to tell him what a good boy you'll be. All right, I'm going. No, come on. Go on. Yeah.
Pilot to all crew. Keep your eyes peeled. Night fighters out there.
Take me to starboard outers up a bit, Skip.
Running smooth enough. Give the dial a tap.
It's dropping back.
Pilot to wireless operator. Anything back from Met on the wind situation?
Wireless operator to pilot. Nothing since 8, Sam. Been twiddling the dial, though, and there's some German stuff.
Lisa. Martin.
What did I say, Jimmy?
The wireless operator, yes, I heard them talking, that's right, yes. What they were talking about, I have no idea. I don't understand the language at all. But you actually listen and hear on that frequency.
God knows, Skip. Definitely a German transmission, though. Ground control to a night fighter, perhaps.
I think they were hearing the frequencies, and they heard
the speech between us.
Challenging, eh?
But it was uncanny to listen. Uncanny. The control, base control of the fighter, you could pick them up very well indeed. Then you had snatches of conversation where the pilot or the aircraft came back to them to answer. Very brief, very brief indeed.
Bound to be directing some blight onto our heading.
Later on, it was disturbed by the English planes, right? And they had on board, they had transmitters.
Once you picked up the actual fighter station, you switched over, and the microphone, there were microphones in the engine that you picked up and transmitted through your own transmitter to try and obliterate the instructions to the fighter pilots.
Pilot's a red turret. See anything, Flash? Negative, Skip. Let it be some other poor bugger tonight, not us. Please, God.
"700 aircraft were ordered by Bomber Command HQ that morning. Ground crews, by great efforts, added 5 previously unserviceable aircraft to this total. But by the time the leading aircraft crossed the Dutch coast that night of February the 18th, 1943, there are now only 695 aircraft in a stream stretching back across the North Sea to the East Anglian coastline. 2 aircraft collided over the assembly point at Southwold, killing both crews, and 2 crashed on takeoff. The other 6 had turned back for such technical failures as rear turret hydraulic malfunctions, engine seizures, fuel line blockages, coolant pump failures. All the ills that aircraft flown to the limit of their endurance are heir to. One had to return because its pilot was taken sick. He landed back safely, but died next day from peritonitis due to a ruptured appendix. 6 de Havilland Mosquitoes of 8 Group Pathfinders lead the raid, fitted with the new top-secret oboe direction guidance equipment. Their job is to locate the target Krefeld ahead of the stream and drop bright red target indicator flares onto it. But tonight, there is trouble among the Mosquitoes. 2 have had to turn back already. Warley Fen Naffy. Ruth Lambert, Sam's wife, sits alone drinking a mug of strong tea after her supper. Safety and rescue, where she works, has been hectic all day.
Is anyone sitting here?
No. I say, you all right?
Oh, fine.
Had some bad news.
That accident this afternoon, the armourer who was killed.
Did you know him?
No, I was there. I saw it.
Oh, how dreadful.
It's funny, you know. I was all right straight after. I mean, it was a shock, but we were all that relieved and it didn't explode, but I felt quite all right, really. But, well, now I've had time to think about it.
Do you have a hanky?
No.
Here, take mine.
Oh, it was silly, really. I didn't even know his name. So many young chaps don't come back every night, but when you see it close to like that, I feel a fool. Matt Scott.
Ruth Lambert.
Any relation to Sam Lambert?
His wife. But I mostly use my maiden name on base.
Your secret's safe with me. I know his flight engineer.
You know Batters?
Well, you know. Must be awful for you. Waiting, I mean.
One has to try to get used to it.
Batters thinks your husband's a great bloke.
Does he? That makes 2 of us.
The 695 aircraft lumber towards Krefeld. Each Lancaster cost £42,000 to build. The man-hours spent on constructing each 4-engined aircraft could have built a mile of motorway. They carry a combined bomb load of 1,960 tons of munitions at a cost of around £13,000 per bomber, including fuel and servicing. 980 tons of it is high explosive, over 930 tons of it incendiaries, not to mention 40 tons of special items like target flares and photo flash bombs. Taking into account training, hardware and weaponry, each aircraft represents a public investment of £120,000. Even without including the over-mosquitoes, the nuisance raids on Berlin, and the leaflet-dropping exercise over Ostend, to mount tonight's operation has cost the public purse around £85 million of 1943 prices.
Anna?
Hansel, are you ready for bed?
What you do?
Saying my prayers. Have you said yours?
Yes.
Good boy. Come on. Bed.
Hello, Louisa.
Yes.
I'm glad we don't live in Craythorpe.
Sleep tight. Don't let the bed bugs bite.
Did you write a letter?
Yes.
Did you tell Father I was a good boy?
Of course I did. And I sent him your love.
Good.
Straight to sleep.
Because the turret was open, you smelt the cordite of the exploding aircap, which is the most nauseating smell you can possibly imagine, worse than a sore. The absolute smell of death.
On Over Orange, Cohen the navigator tries to concentrate on his maps and charts.
Look at the big chance up ahead, Skip.
Navigator pilot.
Having cash.
We're going to be a bit late to target, Skip. I reckon we'll be there in 31 minutes.
Thanks, mate. Enough about the pilot. Muck coming up. On the right, Skip.
So, oh my God, if my mother known that I was going to go through this, she'd have probably never had me. That's how horrifying it was.
We're not on our own, Skip.
What?
I just saw another lank below us. He's dropping a load of flak down there.
Wind's pushing us all slack, Skip.
Below us on the starboard side, Skip. Somebody's got turned in a beam.
Keep concentrating on those throttles, Fatty.
You would see a beam flick over and catch a plane. In a flash, there would be 20, 30 more beams on it. You'd see all the shells exploding around the aircraft.
0 degrees port, Skip.
Pilot to navigator 030 degrees left. Getting close. Need to take some evasive action. Pilot to crew, brace yourselves, might be a bit bumpy.
Why don't you have Len do something? Move, you clown! They're going to get fix on him.
Anyone see who it is?
I'm in a pilot.
Go ahead, Digby.
Looks like T. Tommy. He's been hit!
Oh, my God!
Great sort of sudden balls of flame and stuff and bits flying off, and you think, Christ, you know, poor salt, you know, and this is it. And down it went. And you think, Christ, there's 7 bots in there, you know.
Can't see any.
Took a direct hit on the bomb bay.
Sam Serpentine's creaking door away from the probing searchlights in the flak. Soon they're flying in pitch dark again, seemingly alone in the sky.
We're off a bit of height there, Skip.
Climbing power 2850.
2850.
Sam peers ahead into the solid black. His eyes begin to smart. He closes them for a moment.
Sam. Can't you sleep either? Oh, I hate the thought of going back tomorrow.
If it hadn't been for the war, we wouldn't have met.
I can't imagine life without you.
Maybe you should try.
You're coming out of this alive, Sam.
All the blokes I started out with are gone. It's got to be my turn soon.
In the tailor's house in Altgarten, a light burns in the study as SS Sturmbannführer Fischer watches Herr Voss examine the carpet he has brought him.
Old. Caucasian. No, don't tell me. Cuba?
Cuba, from the National Museum at Kharkov. 300 years old.
It's a very fine carpet, no question.
You know about carpets?
I've bought a few in my time. So you're with the Galician 14th Waffen-SS?
How much?
How much were you thinking?
10,000.
Right, Mark.
What did you think, Pfennig?
It's a lot of money.
It's a museum piece, Herr Voss. Priceless.
Everyone says they have a museum piece these days.
I took the thing from the museum myself at the point of a gun. Like this. 10,000.
Please. Guns make me nervous.
At radar station Ermin, a fix has been set on O orange.
Catcher 5, order. Turn 10 degrees starboard. Do you have visual contact? Catcher 5, can you see him? He's reacting too slowly. It must be one of the new fellas.
Be patient, really.
Can you see him on your radar yet, Catcher 5?
On O for orange, they were unaware that they had become the target.
Cruising power, batters.
Cruising power, Skip.
Gently. Gently. Pilot to crew, we are at bombing altitude.
Bomb, I'm at a navigator. Time to bomb run, please.
Well, we got the directions from the ground. Lisa left, Rolf on the right side. And we got always then the distance with Mari 5. That means the distance is 5 kilometers.
Nobody dares to say one word. Everybody was looking and what orders this guy gave to the pilot and hoping that he was catching the target, and then always very exciting and full of electricity.
Catcher 5, turn 5 degrees Rolf. Reduce speed, you're coming too fast. Decrease altitude to 6,000 meters.
My pity was always the gunner, who had nothing to do but sit all the time looking to the horror of enemy attack.
Starting to port. Everybody hold tight.
Oh, God. Oh, my God.
Catcher 5 from Ermin, come in. Why did you come at him from underneath? Come in, Catcher 5.
Rolling. Down starboard.
You're too hard on it. She won't take it.
Shut up and help me. Get your hands over mine on the wheel. So go down starboard.
So busy. The sick-making feeling. It's rather like being on a roller coaster when you get to the top and you go down. The course was a fearsome. It's surprising the airplane stuck together, these stresses and strains.
We're going to take her down to 15,000 and then pull her up. Starting starboard. Ready back to full thrust.
3,000, Skip. You'll set up the fuel assembly.
God, you're beauty. We'll pull her up at 15,000. If you stop saying that, I swear I will... Hold her.
17. 1650.
Push, better push.
You'll keep the tail
on the bloody altitude.
16. 1650. Oh, my God. 16.
Get up.
You won't live.
Pull it with me. Now.
There were many clever fellows which I missed, because then he moved down and I missed him. Very often I was shooting in the blind, and I saw them making half a roll with full engine and going down a steep dive, because they knew that was the only chance.
I have him right on top of the Tommy and he lets him get away.
Catcher 5, stand by for further instructions. We'll get him on the way back. We're still heading east.
The Ruhr?
It's got to be the Ruhr.
Unless they divert northeast of Bremen.
No, it's too late for them to swing north and avoid the flak. Order. All Ruhr targets to air danger 10.
Very good, sir.
Thank God Anna Louisa and Hansel aren't in Krefeld tonight.
The 6 Oboe Pathfinder Mosquitoes on tonight's mission to Krefeld were having a bad op. As well as the 2 which had aborted over the North Sea because of faults with their oboe sets, another had engine failure, and yet another would not complete the mission because of an iced-up oxygen tube which cost the crew their lives in the North Sea. flying 10,000 feet above Lambert and nearly 200 miles an hour faster, and now only minutes from Krefeld. One of the two remaining Mosquitoes turns back as its oboe set fails too. The last Mosquito, however, is right on track for Krefeld. It is flown by Flying Officer Alan Hill, a married man whose wife is expecting their first child. The two-seater Pathfinder Mosquitoes had no armor or weapons. Flying as fast as they did, at heights of up to 32,000 feet, they were thought to be inaccessible to night fighters. Neither the RAF nor Alan Hill is aware of the existence of the Germans' new top-secret supercharged Junkers 88.
Signals flying. You'll hear the other in a few moments. Thanks, Alan. Bombs off! Bomb doors open! Good man, stand by.
Oboe pilots listened to radio signals from Britain that kept them on course. They didn't even have to see the ground to hit their target. Oboe was accurate to within 600 yards, guided by transmissions from 220 miles away. Alan Hill waits to hear a second signal. The navigator waits too, with his hand on the bomb release, ready to drop the target indicators on Krefeld. So far, for this last Mosquito, everything has gone to plan. Of the 4 target indicators which fell from Alan Hill's aircraft when it exploded, 2 fell harmlessly, failing to detonate. The other 2 dropped just to the east of Altgarten, some 7 miles west of Krefeld. The flares detonated as they refused to do at 1,000 feet, and spewed benzol, rubber and phosphorus for 100 yards in all directions, creating 2 pools of brilliantly bright red light that was seen from 4 miles away by the approaching bomber stream.
I waked up during the night and I saw some lights came in the windows, and I looked outside and it looked fantastic. Nice Christmas trees, lights on the sky. I didn't know what is it. It looked very nice. I lived like a Farmerfrau in the middle of the country. I didn't know anything.
No one at the Burgomeister's party saw the lights.
And next, I must thank my dear wife. What can I say? She gets younger looking every year. Or maybe it's my eyesight failing. Firstly, for giving me 3 such pretty daughters, Elsa, Trudy, and sweet little Gerda, our youngest. I call them my 3 young sweethearts, you know. And, of course, I must also say thank you to... What is it, young man?
I'm sorry, Herr Burgomeister. I've got an urgent message from Town Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, I have an official report that there is a heavy force of RAF terror flyers in the sky tonight. The likely target is the Ruhr. However, you will all wish to attend to your duties. Thank you for coming. Hi, Hitler. There's the car outside.
The Burgomeister's wife finds herself unaccountably in tears as she follows her husband out of the restaurant into the street where the official car is waiting with the engine running. She and her children wave as the car moves away. Walter waves back. He will never see his family again. As the car reaches the town hall, Walter can see the searchlights of the flak battery 3 miles away and Alan Hill's target indicators still burning. It was bad luck for Altgarten that the whole bomber stream was now 12 miles south of the planned route because of the stronger than forecast winds and would pass over it. The operation to bomb Krefeld was beginning to go disastrously wrong. On Ophir Orange, Sam Lambert was again flying straight and level.
Pilot to navigator, plot a course to get us back in the stream.
Yes, Sam. Going to be late on target.
You all right, Batters? Oh, turn the tail, come on. Sometimes it does. Skipper to all crew, any damage to report?
Got my Maria. We've got a bit of a crack on the nuts, Steve, but otherwise rather dry.
Need attention, Digby.
Nothing serious. What man worse the morning after?
Pilot to wireless operator, come in, Jimmy. Navigator, check on Jimmy. Is he all right?
Navigator to pilot. He's okay, Skip. He's off into com picking up my charts.
Mid-upper year. Everything okay. Well, thanks to you, Flash.
All right, Vincy. Flash, you all right?
I never turned till last minute. Start picking up the prospect field to give a clear
Cut
view.
the tackle, Vincy. Everybody, we've had our free warning. Keep your bloody eyes open. New setting cone as soon as you have it.
17 minutes to target. Turn right. 035 degrees.
035 it is.
We goes down and we sit there, and a lot of them, they are praying, and they sit and wait and hope that nothing happens to us, that it goes in another place.
Who is it?
Good ball, Anna.
August Bach's house in Florerstrasse, Altgarten.
Is something wrong?
There's been a bomb alert.
I heard the siren. I was expecting you.
Were you?
August said today if there was an air raid, I could depend on you.
Look, what are you after?
I'm sorry?
August is more than twice your age. He's not rich. I'm better off than him. Of course, I've no medals, only this gammy leg, but that wouldn't put you off, would it, Anna Louisa?
I love him, and he loves me.
Well, you may have fooled him, but I know about you and that young fella.
Anna Louisa, who's out there? Go to sleep, Hansel. It's only Cousin Gert. What are you doing up, anyway? Cousin Gert, are you drunk?
Hello there, Hansel. No, young'un, I'm merry.
You should be asleep. I can't. There are lights in the sky. What lights? Go to bed.
Backup Lancasters were beginning to remark the site of the misplaced red target indicators from Allen Hill's Mosquito, with red and green TIs.
Hansel, get your coat and shoes. Quickly. You too.
What does it mean?
Quickly, Hansel! They're target flares.
What?
They drop those lights to mark the targets for the bombers.
Well, they won't bomb here. Why would they bomb here?
Old Foster Taylor has a deep cellar. Come on, quickly, Hansel!
Our Bach used to bring hot drinks to the shelter when we were in Crayford.
No time.
They're going to bomb us, Uncle Gert. Of course not, Hansel. We're going to have Foster's shelter just to be on the safe side.
Here, Hansel, have my torch. Tell here, boss. I sent you.
Don't be afraid, Hansel. There's nothing to bomb here. Only us. What are you doing, Herr Burgomeister?
The town hall, Altgarten.
They're dropping flares east of the town.
I saw them.
We're ready for them, Herr Burgomeister. The Red Cross women are heating the soup. Frau Gretel and Frau Josef are waiting for you.
Hi, Hitler.
Hi, Hitler.
At the beginning of the war, Walter had requisitioned the old department of births and deaths in the basement of the town hall for his splendid air raid control center. Walter was proud of its maps and plans and special phone lines and electricity generator, but he never dreamt that he would ever use them. Pilot Officer Roger Donald Lancaster was over Altgarten at 0 hours +2. His bomb aimer, Flying Officer Frank Leighton, saw the misplaced marker flares. He was surprised that his coordinates were wrong, but he was convinced this was Crayford when he saw the image on his navigator's H2S, which showed reflections off water, which was what he expected to see outside Crayford.
Steady. Bomb's gone. Hold steady for the flash, Skip.
It was, in fact, reflections of the greenhouses of Altgarten's small market gardens. His green target indicator flares landed right on top of Allen Hill's red.
Clear!
He also dropped 4,000 pounds of high explosives.
Bomb doors closed. Close bomb doors, Skip.
If the bomb doors closed, big sigh of relief. You'd feel the aircraft rise after the bombs were dropped because it's quite a huge weight. You could actually feel it go up.
The next Lancasters dropped 30-pound incendiaries and more green target indicators, as well as several tons of 500-pound general-purpose bombs. The Baccarat TIs were to prove fatal for the town. They would burn for 20 minutes on the far side of Altgarten to the east, and as the raid progressed and the bombing crept back from them, more and more bombs would land on the town's wooden centre.
Come on, man. Doesn't take that long to walk to the hut and back.
The first casualty in Altgarten was the water processing plant manager Alfred Thankel, who had rushed from the Burgomeister's party to his post when the alarm went off. When he got there, he realized his keys were in his other jacket. Alfred Thankel was still standing outside the waterworks waiting for the foreman to fetch the spare set when a 250-pound high-explosive bomb went off. Thankel was thrown some 120 feet into the air. When the keys were brought, there was no gate to unlock. The bright red and green TIs and the first explosions and flames could now be seen from 10 miles away by the main force bombers in the stream. The operation against Krefeld had gone terribly wrong. As the first thumps were heard in Herr Voss's house in Florerstrasse, Anna Luisa smiled encouragingly at Hansel.
Herr Voss, shouldn't we all go down to the cellar?
Wait 1 moment.
2 of the 500-pound medium-capacity bombs dropped from Wing Commander Hugh Munro's Lancaster R. Roger hit slum housing to the east of Altgarten's town centre, some 1.5 miles away from Florerstrasse. One failed to explode, like a sixth of all the bombs of this type Bomber Command took to Germany. Munro's Lancaster was now almost overhead. Anna Luisa didn't know, but Munro's next bomb, hung up in his bomb bay, was now whistling through the night air above them. 4,000 pounds of RDX and TNT high explosive, and it would hit Florerstrasse. It demolished the large apartment block at the corner of Foss's Road. 23 people were dead and 17 were dying. 6 had lost limbs. These were the ones who had heard the alarm, thought it was a mistake and ignored it. 21 more would die because they hadn't.
Last we couldn't see 4 or 5 meters, I think, or 3 meters, I don't know exactly.
Having taken shelter in the apartment cellar, they were buried, but not yet dead.
My mother covered us our heads with a big pillow concerning the noise and that it would be hurt by bricks and so on.
The air inside would get fouler as the night wore on and run out 12 hours after the explosion.
Suddenly it was complete darkness. The electricity had gone when the bombs came nearer. Until we thought it is the end for us all. My grandmother, 64 years old, she prayed for us all and we heard it.
36 hours before rescuers reached them, they would all be dead, including the mother of the town hall telephonist, Gerda Josef.
3 more explosions in Dorfstrasse.
Deep in the basement of Altgarten's town hall, she and her colleagues relayed news of explosions and fires.
Fire at 35 Kaiser in Augustastrasse, Herr Burgomeister.
Just mark them on the map. What's the matter with you people? We've practiced these bomb raid procedures so many times.
Control center. Large explosion in the Florerstrasse. The Kaiser building has collapsed. My mother's there visiting her sister.
I'm sure everyone heard the warning, Fraulein Josef, and went to the cellar.
Night fighter pilot Baron Victor von Löwenherz was now 3 miles from a Lancaster on a converging course.
Anything, Rudy? It should be on your screen.
The radar screen, we had, if you get a line in the tube, the green line, and then when the plane comes in, the bomber, you get a blip.
700 meters away. Close it fast. Tell me when you have a visual contact, Werner. Closing 650 meters. Got him! 1 o'clock high, double starboard. 600 meters. Closing.
It happened. If you had the same altitude like the 4-engine plane, you felt the prop wash. You felt, here is a light turbulence from the fellow in front of you. And then I tell you, it's like with a hunter. You feel here is the guy you have to shoot down within the next seconds.
No sign of avoiding tactics. Capture 1 to Erman. I have visual sighting. Dropping beneath him.
Message understood, Captain 1.
Löwenherz couldn't stop thinking of his friend and fellow officer Christian Himmel, now presumably in the hands of the Gestapo. The photographs in the official Luftwaffe medical file, freezing experiments on human beings, which Christian had stolen and shown him, wouldn't leave him either.
The light switch is on the left, at the bottom of the steps, gentlemen. Miss?
Yes, I've got it. Hold my hand, Hansel.
Anna Luisa couldn't understand why Herr Voss had seemed so reluctant to let them use his cellar. Perhaps she thought he was waiting for the 2 SS men to leave.
You and the boy have the sofa, miss. Shall I fetch him a blanket? He should be asleep.
I'm not tired, Colonel.
Where are you going, boss? Back upstairs to fetch a blanket for the boy. Sturmbannführer, stay here. What? Oh, no problem. I won't be long. Didn't you hear me? I said, stay here. Nice collection of objets d'art. Now, we've got to 15,000, I believe, for the carpet and the silver. Yes. Don't worry, you're getting a bargain, boss. Give me the cash, and the corporal and I will be on our way. There's an air raid going on. Here's the safe. Couldn't we wait until... Open it! I can't. What? I can't open it. I need the combination. Old men's memories aren't good. It's written in my appointment book. Upstairs. Get it. Yes.
"25 miles from Altgarten, Löwenherz is moving closer behind and underneath the Lancaster.
Safety catches off.
The 3 20mm Ehrlichen cannons fitted in the nose of the Junkers 88 are cocked and ready.
Turn a speed, please. 300. It's slow for Lancaster. 290. Leading back.
Löwenherz inches under the huge aircraft.
What you saw with the silhouette, you saw the 1, 2, 3, 4 engine. You saw also 8 blue flames, if you're close enough.
The 2 are flying in close formation. With the Lancaster 100 feet above him, Löwenherz can see every detail of the aircraft.
Sometimes we could read the squadron letters. Sometimes it was possible to see all the people in the bomber mechanism.
What's all that, Mark?
Black from Venlo.
Did Big Jelly what he said to the wing commander, Skip?
Shut it, Bears. Keep your eyes on those dials.
What's this?
Put him straight, good and proper, didn't he?
I just told him what I felt. What the hell was that?
Trying to bump her up a bit. Is this something about crew changes, by any chance?
No jumped up, snotty-nosed little Pommy's going to move me from your crew, Skip. Cheeky bastard. Well, we're a damn good crew. We'll stick together.
Who's the pilot? If you saw him, he reported, "Ich berühre, I touch." And then if he intend to attack you, "Ich mache poke poke."
That's the one to Erman. Cattle drums. Very cattle one.
Löwenherz gets ready to open fire on the Lancaster above him.
And the moment I pulled the stick back, I let him go into the gun sight and shoot him.
The fighter shudders as it teeters on the verge of stalling, hanging in the air stationary under the great bomber.
And when I had him in the gun sight, I kept him there. And they are still shooting, and then he must hit the burn.
As the Lancaster moves forward above them, Löwenherz's thumb hovers over the firing button on the stick.
Burn right away. These tanks between number 1 and 2 engines.
On Lancaster Z for Zebra, Flight Lieutenant Martin Fleming, 21, and his crew on their first mission to Germany. were totally unaware of Löwenhertz's Junkers 88 until the first of 30 cannon shells entered through the forward hatch, missing the bomb aimer lying on it by an inch and exploding on contact with the forward gun turret. Löwenherz pulls back the stick and rakes his cannon fire down the wing root and tail of the Lancaster. One shell severs the throttle and rudder controls and bursts the glycol bottle. The whole of the cabin fills in a second with choking white mist. The bomb aimer is dead, and Fleming is mortally wounded. Another shell comes through the bomb bay and explodes under the navigator's position. In that peculiar way of explosions, it sucks the shattered, unrecognizable pieces of the navigator downwards, while blowing out the astrodome and catapulting the wireless operator sitting under it out into the night unharmed. Charlie Carter hasn't got a scratch on him, or a parachute.
I told Dad what you wrote about the dangers being evacuated, Charlie. We all miss him, and are looking forward to March the 1st.
Wireless operator Charlie Carter, 19 years of age, had been nervous all day. He was due home on leave soon to marry his fiancée, Lucy.
We've been hearing lots of Lucy, and last night I got a look at the wedding dress.
Oh, God.
As Charlie falls, the cloud clears and he sees red and green lights all around him.
Beautiful. Really beautiful, Charlie. Lucy's so handy with a new book. Let's hope Lucy takes after us.
I told you, always wear your parachute. I mean, always.
Sort of have time to grab it, Fly.
You two are so happy together, I just know it. All right.
It is now 11 seconds since Löwenherz flicked off the safety catch. The next 3 shells fracture the metal formers where the rear fuselage is bolted on, effectively breaking the aircraft's back. The whole rear section buckles violently. It will fall away in 53 seconds. The mid-upper gunner is killed by shrapnel in the 5th explosion. The rear gunner, unharmed, clings to his weapons as he seesaws abruptly in the rear turret, his head hitting the perspex. It is almost a blessing when he dies. Decapitated by shrapnel from shell 30.
This fellow was burning. And then I moved away, right away, about 500 meters on the right side, and I watched him.
Orange is a quarter of a mile away.
Made up with the pilot. Lancaster in trouble. Off starboard.
Thanks, Benty, we see him. It's Fleming.
Why don't they get out?
Löwenherz fired 180 shells in 7 seconds. 20 would have made the aircraft unflyable, but 30 have ripped through her. Pilot Officer Fleming is the last person left alive on Z-Zebra. His legs have been blown off at the knees, but he feels only terror.
I'm sorry! I'm so sorry, Cap! I can't hold it! Sorry, Cap! Bad show! I can't hold it!
He is still pulling on the useless control wheel, the cable's long since blown away, when the aircraft plows into the ground. It is only 4 minutes after the first shell hit them. To Pilot Officer Fleming, it has seemed like 4 years.
All of a sudden, a voice screams out, "Skipper, we've been hit, we've had it, we're going down." Everybody on the crew at that particular moment thought it was our crew. But the intercom got tangled, it was another crew. The nightmare was, as they were going down, each one was screaming. We heard them all screaming out, "Mother, mother, mother." Piercing screams. Still stays with me.
As Helmut Voss had hurried up the steps of his cellar some minutes before, Robbie Anderson Sterling was overhead, the first of over 100 carrying only incendiaries.
Bombs away, Skip!
And 3,000 magnesium sticks fall on Altgarten.
Plock, plock. This was the sound of the stick fire bombs. We know nothing about the phosphor canisters. The official know something about it, but did not talk about it.
They penetrate roofs and burn anything or anyone that comes into contact with them. As Over Orange flies towards Altgarten following the rest of the stream, Sam Lambert's face and oxygen mask are lit by bursts of flak and light from the fires below. Digby, lying on his stomach over the forward hatch, looked for the dark shape which represents the lake to the north of Crater.
Oh, it's a bomber. How are we doing, Digby? I can see the markers. We're on the right track.
It was, it was like a hops of hell, if you like. No, it was awesome and frightening because I thought, God, that's going down there.
Looks like shit and derision down there, Skip.
That's right. That's it.
What did you think of the people under the bombs? How couldn't you?
Germany's full of medieval towns with narrow streets. Their houses are built really close together.
Yeah, this is really very good, dear.
Yes, it is, Mummy.
We go up like tinder. You should see the bombing pictures.
That school in Catford last month didn't look too good either after the Hun was over. Neither did Coventry.
Well, they sowed the wind, now they'll reap the whirlwind, eh?
What exactly are you saying, Sam? Now, you're not saying we shouldn't bomb the Germans at all.
Maybe there should be an international ban on all area bombing.
Do you think Hitler could be trusted to keep to that?
It's not just factories, that's what I'm saying. We're killing German civilians too.
Killing Germans is the whole idea. I'd have thought. We're at war, Sam. More wine, Ruth.
Oh, thank you.
A war, by the way, we didn't start. But Hitler started. Thank you. Well, we'll finish it.
I'm not sure what we're doing will.
Maybe Churchill and Harris know better.
I doubt it.
Daddy might be right. If we bomb their cities and towns enough, the German people will turn against Hitler and his mob.
It doesn't work like that, Ruth. Remember Londoners during the Blitz? Everyone got behind Churchill and the war effort, even pacifists. The Germans will do the same. Every bomb we drop on civilians simply strengthens Hitler's position.
I don't know, I hope you don't talk like this in front of your chaps.
Maybe I should. Perhaps some of them feel the same as me.
I rather doubt it.
So what do you want me to do, father-in-law? Not think about it? Have no feelings, just be a killing machine?
During the Great War, a man could get shot for the attitude you displayed tonight. Excuse me.
Then the bombs came. When I was a child, I laughed. There was thunderstorm, and it remembered me to a thunderstorm when we had to go to the cellar. And we had boom, boom. The whistling is, I remember.
Helmut Voss was moving as briskly as his arthritis permitted, heading for his brother's house in Lieberstrasse. A huge pile of smouldering rubble lies where the Kaiser Building apartments once stood.
Please, help me! My wife trapped in the cellar! Help me lift this up!
Voss never looked up to see the old man scrambling over the rubble. Who could be alive under that lot? His wife was obviously dead. What was the point, Voss thought? It was to be his last.
The air mines, they were the most dangerous things which came down. The most noisy things, and it's like it was such a terrible bomb that everything was trembling.
In the Burgomeister's control center, explosions were marked by red flags and fires by yellow flags on the large-scale street map. Fräulein Josef began to worry they would run out of little flags before long.
It's true, Herr
the monster.
What are you talking about?
I can't go, the road's on fire.
Stand up straight when you report to me, young man.
The flames are as high as the house running down the street, sir.
Brian Gerard, report this to the gasmeister. Go and tell her exactly where the fire is. What?
The fireman says the overdraft got flat.
Traversa, I want to speak to the waterworks manager on the telephone. Keep trying, Bob. Keep trying. You must get in touch with him.
Is somebody fixing it? But there are dozens of underground fractures. They fix one, it leaks out somewhere else. What's wrong with your leg? Bloody incendiary. It's nothing, just careless. I'm home for my trousers. You should get it fixed. Everyone down! Listen, we can't do anything here. And there are still patients up on the 3rd floor of the east wing. Old people, bedridden. We've got to evacuate them before the fire spreads. Lead the way. The main staircase is kaput, but we can use the service stairs. You should get it looked at. We can get in through the Luftwaffe entrance if the fire hasn't spread. You men, come with us!
The unchecked fires were getting out of control, joining together in one conflagration. Oxygen, flammable material, and people would be sucked in to feed the flames. The increasing winds heralded the firestorm. "12 bombers a minute are passing over Altgarten. One is over orange.
Steady. Steady.
Bomb aimers passed alterations to course in the form of 2 lefts or 1 right. The idea being that in the noise and confusion this would be clearer. In the nose of the aircraft, Digby has his hand on the bomb release switch. His eyes on the flames and lights below. He aims at the center of the burning mass.
I wouldn't aim for the biggest fire. I'd aim for my perception of what the target was. And if they coincide, a good show.
Bomb doors open, master switch on, bomb Houston selected.
Steady. Right. Steady.
Up here, Skip. Target's coming up too soon.
It's the right place. Looks like an inferno.
Get up, Skip. Flat getting closer.
Come on, Digby. Just drop the bastard things.
Steady.
Drop them.
Vincy, Skip. You just bumped in.
Get off the effing intercom, Vincy.
Steady.
Flash here, Skip. Bloody Sterling right below us. Diggers, hold a second.
Once I did have a photograph of of an ugly Halifax below me, and the bombing bloke went mad. I said, well, Julia, I couldn't see it. There was so much going on. I was concentrating, but there it was.
200 yards to the east of Orange and flying at 18,000 feet was S for Sugar. Flight Lieutenant Sweet Bomb Aimer Tim Speak is in the nose with his eye to the bomb site.
Look. Steady. Steady.
No, this isn't the place. Pilot the bomb aimer. What the frank's you up to? I don't want a bomb here. Let's get right to the centre.
We're at dead centre target, sir.
I want them further in.
Like the starboard, skipper.
I know, Murphy, I'm not blind. Do you see what I mean, Speak? It'll be under us any moment.
Very good, sir. Just sorry.
What the hell's wrong?
Sorry, sir. Take it easy. It was coming right at me.
Get a grip of yourself, Speak, and stop calling me sir. I'm not a blasted bank manager. Skip or skipper. Now, can you see the centre?
Yes, I can still make it.
That's getting a bit close.
Open bomb doors.
Not on your Nelly. We've bloody overshot it now. Right, Murphy, we're going round again.
Don't do it, Skip.
What?
You're crossing the stream, Skip.
Relax, Murphy. I know what I'm doing.
Bomb squad.
Sam Lambert feels the aircraft lift up as the bombs drop away.
Both of them, George. Let's get
Sorry, Skip. Pilot flash hasn't gone.
What? Say again.
The solid photo flash is hung up.
What's up with the photo flash, Digby?
Bump bus. Try waggling the wheels.
Hang on. Jimmy, you're nearest. Take a deco. Holding us steady.
Jimmy here, Skip. I can see the photo flash bomb and it's not budging.
Here goes. Trying to take it out. Smarter, and then let's try to take a picture.
Not budging, Skip. It's stuck.
Blooming it. Well, of course. Can't stay up here forever.
It's jammed solid.
The Würzburg radar operator at Turnhofen had S for sugar as his target. And when they came round again, the operator couldn't believe his luck. A night fighter from Krunsvik, codenamed Cat 3, was guided onto her and was now closing in. The pilot of the Junkers 88, 19-year-old Hermann Gramlich, was an expert. His radar operator had S for sugar half a mile ahead as Sweet brought her round for his second bombing run. At St. Antonius' hospital, the fire was now spreading to the main wing.
Have they evacuated the basement still? No point. They're safer in there. Not if this lot comes down on them.
We could hear the sounds of the heavy engines of the incoming bombers, and we heard the flak and the bombs. And in our cellar, looking at each other out of big eyes, without saying a word, we listened for the explosions of the bombs coming closer.
Especially the elderly women prayed very often. That was very interesting in the time of the National Socialist movement, because it was not very popular to pray in public. That was a very impressive situation in the crowded shelter buildings.
Quickly, you men! We haven't got all night!
Climbing towards the third floor is Gert Böll and Johannes Ilse, the fire chief.
What's that noise? Sounds like singing!
The old ones trapped in their beds watching the bombs drop. There's nothing else they can do.
Do you feel that, Gert? The whole building's moving!
Our forefathers built these places to last. They won't collapse.
Really?
Neither will we while there's work still to do for the fatherland. Don't you listen to our Führer on the wireless.
Of the 4 500-pound bombs from Lambert's aircraft, one demolished the main post office. Among the thousands of letters which will burn there tonight was Gert Böll's letter to August. 2 others landed in the public park, but the last of the 4 went off in the grounds of the hospital. Mercifully, Sam Lambert would never know the devastating effect. The outer wall of the hospital buckled and tumbled into the courtyard, exposing the wards on the 3rd floor and giving the helpless patients in their beds a vast panoramic view of the town in flames. Immediately after, the metal framework gave way completely, and the 3rd floor tilted down towards the courtyard. Beds began to slide across the highly polished floor towards the inferno. Nurses tried to grab hold of patients and were dragged over the edge with them. Bodies and beds fall 90 feet into the burning courtyard, piling on top of each other. Then the building collapses, showering the writhing, screaming mass of bodies with burning materials, bricks, concrete, and metal.
Pilot to navigator, Karen, can you hear me?
Sam banks steeply and turns orange away from the devastation below him.
From Nordvik.
300 degrees, Skipper.
Searchlights off the port beam, Skip.
Compass at 300 degrees.
They're coming here, starboard beam. Some port side's got hit by a bloody night fighter.
It's like one of our lanes.
The rear gunner on S for Sugar had seen the night fighter just as it opened fire. He was blown apart by the first 20mm shell. The 19.5 grams of hexagen A1 high explosive liquefied his torso, and heat from the incendiary which followed it, burning at 2,500 degrees, incinerated what was left of his corpse.
Fire script! Clear the port in, Murphy, and push extinguisher, will you? Closing throttle, revs down, fuel cut off, feathering, port inner, extinguisher on. Come in, rear gunner. Let's hear your lame excuses.
My rules up here, Skip. In the rear section. It's all shut to buggery, sir. Frank. Well, kill him if you need to say bombs, bomb, doors.
Who gave the order to stop those bombs? I didn't say.
I thought I had the order. Sorry, sir.
This up doesn't count now. Majestic is the same as an abort. I'm having you court-martial for this.
I heard the order, sir.
Shall we prepare to bail out, sir? No, sir. We certainly shan't prepare to bail out, sir.
In the cellar, it was over 10 minutes since Herr Voss had left Anna and Hansel with the 2 SS men.
Come on, this, that. No! Careful, idiots!
Why are you taking Herr Voss's things?
There's no more need of them.
Herr Voss, are you up there? He may be hurt.
He's not coming back, I told you. Now sit down and shut up!
You know the penalty for losing.
I said shut it! Ow!
Leave her alone, you! I'm all right, Hansel. The boy's father is an Oberleutnant in the Luftwaffe. He'll learn about this.
Against the wall! Get over there! Shoot, you boy! Move! I've wasted enough time!
Please, no.
Well, what do you know? I had the combination all the time. And she was safe.
They'll be gone soon.
Vesper Sugar was now flying with 2 engines severed. And now another one, the starboard outer, was on fire too, and it wasn't responding to the fire extinguisher mounted in the engine. The bomb-aimer's peak had bailed out, and the mid-upper gunner and rear gunner were dead. The wireless operator had bailed out too, against Sweet's direct order. Sweet didn't know it, but the oxygen feed to his mask was ruptured. Soon he would be euphorically happy before losing consciousness.
Order an evacuation, skipper. The aircraft had it. Rubbish. Navigator, plot a course for Warley Fair. Billy's dead! You mad bastard! I'll have them court-martialed. 252 for the lot of them. Bail out, Murphy. Go on. Wing God Christ! She's going into his command! Look at she's scrambling around the I know what I'm doing. And we'll all swing together with our bodies between our knees.
Later, Murphy wouldn't remember how he got to the forward hatch as he fought the centrifugal force of the aircraft rolling over and over again.
Come on, damn you! Come on, damn you! No!
Falling through the night sky, Mickey Murphy waited as long as possible before pulling the cord. When he did, the world switched off.
Put your back into it, Corporal. Lift it. What's the corner, man? Damage that our lads is shot.
Fisher and his corporal were loading their booty into the Kugelwagen outside Herr Voss's house when the bomb from Tommy Carter's Lancaster Josef King landed. 500 pounds of high explosive blew the bodies of the 2 men high into the air. If their eyes had still been functional, they would have been able to see Herr Voss himself lying in the gutter 2 streets away, his head caved in by a piece of shrapnel, his lifeblood draining along the gutter. As the dust settled, they would also have seen Herr Voss's house completely demolished.
Bomb doors closed. Let's launch them out and get some speed. Head in, please, navigator.
Okay, skipper.
It would be Tommy Carter's birthday at midnight, his 20th. And his ground crew back at Warley Fen were arranging a surprise party for him. By now, 227 men, women and children had died at the bombed hospital. Bodies lay piled up outside, some of them bursting into flames from the heat of the fire. There was no water to douse them. Identification was going to be a long and gruesome process.
Carefully does it!
Gert Böll and Johannes Ilfer carry an old man away from the hospital to the first aid station set up around the corner.
Nurse! You see, I told you we'd get you in one piece. The old bastard's dead! After all that, the old sod goes and snuffs it! Get old pal! I can't! Johannes! Johannes! Hey, you! Come over here! My friend needs help!
Fireman?
No, he's got a burn on the leg. Bloody incendiary got him. Don't move me. I'm all right.
Help me cut up his throat.
No! Let the nurse have a look at it, you fool. Oh, my God. It's all right. It's not hurting. Not at all.
Hey, where are you going? Wait.
It's burned right into the bone. He's had it. I need it elsewhere.
Get? Oh, what is it, old mate? Anna Luisa. God, I love her. When you see her. What? You know. Such a sweet face. Promise me.
Look, I'm going to get you a doctor, old mate. That nurse is talking cock. You lie there. Johannes. Oh, Johannes.
Flight Lieutenant Terry Sweet watches the earth rush up as his aircraft spirals downwards.
That's funny. Ruthie, you should have married me. I'm a smashing cat in London. DSO, DFC, lovely red MG. I'm nothing a hero.
Flight engineer Nicky Murphy woke a few minutes after Sweet had crashed to find himself unharmed and tangled up in his parachute in a tree. He was afraid to undo his buckle, not knowing in the pitch dark that his feet were only a few inches above the ground. It was more than an hour later that he heard the lorry.
Hey, you! Help me!
It was carrying fire volunteers and engineers who had just come from the burning hospital at Altgarten.
English bomber flyer? No, not English. Ik ben Islander. Prisoner of war, yeah? Come on, you cherry bastards. We get ladder, you big. That's right, I quite like it up there now.
Let's kill the son of a bitch. Gunther, get the axes.
In the ruins of Herr Voss's house, the rubble had settled. Only the cellar had not caved in, and here a glimmer of life survived. Hansel had fallen asleep, but Anna Luisa was awake. The floor was 2 inches deep in cold water.
The bombing stopped. Thank you, God, for sparing our lives.
22 tons of brick and concrete leant against the other side of the cellar door. It would never open again.
Anna, go back to sleep.
I want to go home.
We have to stay here a bit longer.
Will you sing to me, Anna? Mummy used to sing me to sleep.
Of course. Come here. La 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 la.
The water was still rising.
Pilot to all crew. I'm going to drop her down, put on a bit of speed.
Mid upper year. Suits me, Skip. I want to be in bed before midnight and asleep by 1.
Oh, you had sleep with one eye open, Vinci.
There's one of these nights for us going to walk in with one of those bloody big gherkin.
He's got a nothing good pair of boots to open from run bloody goon, boy, oh.
All right, you two, that's enough.
Night fighter pilot Baron Victor von Löwenherz had had a successful night. 2 Lancasters shot down, and now another one being lined up.
Any sign of him on your screen, Rudy? No, sir. Capture 1 to Ermin, no radar fix. Confirm heading.
Ermin to Capture 1, you are closing with him. We lost altitude. Steer 30 degrees roll from 3 to 900 meters.
Capture 1, understood. He's hiding in the cloud, Rudy.
Questioned later that week, Unteroffizier Rudi Müller, radar operator on Löwenherz's Junkers 88, would insist that his captain had been as usual that night, that he had never mentioned anything about Unteroffizier Himmel or any secret document, and Rudy would be telling the truth.
Got it. A kilometre away. Steer right, 20 degrees. We're overtaking him. Good work, Rudy. 900 metres and close.
We can see the flames of the motors and the black monstrum. And it was very good to see against the light heaven.
500 metres. 450. I have in Ermin from Capture 1. In contact. In contact.
O for Orange was now centred in Löwenherz's sights. Rear gunner Flash Gordon had seen him against the glow of Altgarten.
Are you sure he's seen us, Flash?
Oh, yes, Skipper, he's nothing now.
Bastard's trying to come underneath us.
Oh, God, he's firing. Talk, go!
Lambert didn't corkscrew this time. He kicked the rudder bar hard to the left and pulled both starboard throttles fully back, killing their fuel supply. Orange twisted abruptly to the right and jerked almost to a standstill. Löwenherz was going too fast to react and skimmed over the top of the Lancaster, 6 feet separated.
Airspeed 120 and falling.
It's double throttle we got. Pilot the rear gunner, you still there?
It didn't happen, this.
It's coming up. 125, 130, 135. Good old freaking door. Never thought of the change.
Out here, crossing the Mars, Skip. Crikey, this ain't questing work.
Thanks, Coach.
We've lost him, Skipper. He's disappeared. Gone off with his tail between his legs. Need up for you, Skip. Continue to lead me up here. I've got to touch a cloud.
I'll go with you, Jimmy.
Glad of a change of scenery.
Like most wireless operators, Jimmy Grimm was a trained air gunner.
Keep an eye out, Jimmy.
Well, lad, turn it down to my rear, did now?
We did not come to a standstill. Oh, well done, Skip. I bet that Chevy's wondered what's happened there, Skip.
And these boys were a very big disadvantage. They were tired for 5 hours, but I had only endurance of 3.5 hours, 4 hours, and I knew that is now the time where you look around. I was fresh and ready for action. These tired fellows were tired, of course.
A few less odds than I'll be mine, you see.
The 10.5 centimetre shell was radar guided from a flak battery at Nijmegen. The explosion was 30 feet below them. The blast punched a hole in the side of Orange 5 feet across. Pieces of shrapnel ripped into Jimmy Grimm, pulverizing his lower half. Hands still twitching on the machine guns, he was killed instantly, and his entrails and his legs were now just a mess across the aircraft's floor. Other smaller pieces of shrapnel peppered the fuselage and bomb bay. One hit Sam. He slumped forward over the control wheel. A large shard of steel blew the photo flash bomb into the midships. Cohen, the navigator, caught the full force of 1,000,000 candle power in his face.
Are you weak, Skip?
I'll survive.
You're bleeding.
Leave it. Go back and see what's happened.
But I can't do
Somebody back there needs morphine. Get out the solid box, Murphy. Move yourself, Murphy. Don't make brakesman. Oh, God, not again. Oh.
Walter Reisman stumbled as he stepped out past the sandbags of the town hall at Altgarten. He had aged suddenly.
We can rebuild.
We can rebuild.
The lever craft kept too. 15th century Altgarten up in flames. The hospitals have it. Have a drink, Walter. Looted snaps.
We live to fight another day here.
My shop is gone.
No.
There's been a ball the grocer's shop in Altgarten for 70 years until tonight.
Stop bellyaching. Terror flyers will never crush our German will. The Reich will last 1,000 years. Deutschland, Deutschland, über alles.
Official figures for that night show that 290 bombers had attacked Altgarten in the 27 minutes from 8:30 p.m. to 8:57 p.m., around 12 per minute. Each dropped an average of 12,000 pounds of bombs and incendiaries.
Burgomeister, here you are.
Yes? Oh, what is it, Frau Josef?
Urgent message from Wendler.
But what is it? 400 more bombers expected in 5 minutes.
What?
Well, read it. All essential personnel to take shelter. 400 bombers! 400 bombers!
The next wave began bombing the burning town of Altgarten at 21:20 hours. The world had gone mad for Walter Reisman and the rest of the townspeople. Of the 705 aircraft sent to bomb Krefeld that night, only 8 ignored the marker flares and the fires in Altgarten and went on to bomb the actual target. Flying over Holland towards the North Sea, Sam Lambert was fighting to keep Orange flying straight and level, ignoring the blood running down his face and the screams coming from behind him.
And part 4 of Bomber charts the night's final events. On one night in 1943, the RAF Lancaster bomber WF-183 has been out on its final mission. British and German lives have been changed forever. Now, at 23:30 hours, this is the return leg.
Of the 16 Lancasters from here at Warley Fen which took part in the planned 705 bomber raid on Krefeld tonight, February the 18th, 1943, 12 have returned by 11:30.
The terrific relief and elation of walking away from that aircraft after you had been on a flight. That was a lovely sensation. Everybody was talking and nobody was listening.
Looks damaged.
Oh, come on, man, get her down. Can't see the markings.
It's Radcliffe, sir. Queenie.
Good shell.
Among those who have failed to return are S for Sugar. Pilot Flight Lieutenant Sweet confirmed shot down over target, 3 parachute scene. Z Zebra with Flight Lieutenant Fleming and his crew on their first operation, shot down, no parachutes. And O for Orange, Sam Lambert's Lancaster, unaccounted for. Tonight's operation to destroy the industrial centre of Krefeld has gone disastrously wrong. These returning airmen are totally unaware that due to a combination of bad luck and stronger than forecast winds, they have bombed and started a firestorm in the market town of Altgarten instead.
Good to see you back on the pitch. In you go, Cap. Come on, inside now. Inside.
Who are you waiting for, Corporal?
Oh, Orange. Any word, sir? Sergeant Lambert's aircraft.
I know you, don't I?
I'm Sam Lambert's wife.
What?
We were keeping it a secret, but it's all right, sir. The groupie knows now.
Oh.
Is there any word?
No, but keep your chin up, Corporal. Not too late. Excuse me.
In Altgarten, the last 2 hours have been a nightmare. It was impossible during the 23 minutes of the second wave attack to distinguish between individual explosions. 400 bombers each dropped an average of 12,000 pounds of high explosive bombs and incendiaries on the centre of the town.
To the right and to the left, burning houses and great factory burning, and I heard the fire storm. It was a very intensive noise, like a storm. I will never forget it.
Bomb to bugger it is, no mistake.
Everyone's been
Debriefing hut at Warley Fen. Flight Sergeant Carter and his crew, dirty-faced and red-eyed, light up and sip regulation tops of rum in mugs of hot cocoa.
There were plenty of fires to show away.
And what about the Greens?
Don't seem to be there. The bombing were very tight, compact.
Well, the old man will be pleased.
The debriefing officer notes it all down.
Less like one big fire by the time we left. We saw his sugar go down. Anyone else not back?
We've lost dead people too.
Any word of Sam Lambert?
Not so far.
Mid-upper here saw him in.
Yeah, caught some flak over Holland, just before the Dutch coast.
Were any parachutes?
None that I saw.
I see. Right, well, good work, chaps. You all signed your sortie report?
At Luftwaffe radar station Ermin on the Dutch coast about an hour ago, Unteroffizier Willy Reinecker, senior NCO, brought a wireless message to his commanding officer in the control hut.
It's tonight's target confirmed, sir.
Was that right? Was it Krefeld?
Just look for yourself, sir. Doesn't make sense. They marked it precisely and sent in 2 waves, maximum 4, sir. I'm so sorry, sir. They bombed Altgarten, the bastards.
Altgarten?
A concentrated attack.
But there's nothing there.
It must be a mistake.
What?
By the Tories. They must have thought it was somewhere else.
Take over the table, will you?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm very sorry, sir. Please, God, let his kid be alive.
Intelligence officer Leonard Longfellow steps out from the debriefing hut to get a breath of air.
Oh, still here?
Sir?
Look, Mrs. Lambert.
He's been hit, hasn't he?
No one saw them come down, but...
Thanks for telling me.
But why don't you go and have a cup of tea or something? As soon as there's any news, I'll come and get you.
No, I'll wait for him at the cottage. Mr. Longfellow?
Yes?
When he gets back, tell him where I am.
Yes. Yes, of course. Yes, I'll tell him. Bloody.
A girlfriend of mine, MT, her brother was an actor. He was a pilot. And she would never believe that he was killed. She just always thought he was still alive, but he wasn't. But she never gave up hope.
Cycling the 3 miles from the base to Little Warley, where she and Sam were renting a small cottage, Ruth Lambert pedals her head down against the wind.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Sam, wherever you are, don't give up hope.
Letting it down to 5,000. Over with the wheel batters. Skip. Pilot to mid-upper. Come in, Mitty.
50 years, Skip.
How's close you're doing?
Floating on, Skip.
Good man. What's the fuel situation, back there? Not good.
I need to stop at a petrol station. Anybody got any sonic coupons?
Can't be much further. We went over Southport 5 minutes ago. I'm sure it was Southport. It's bloody cold. Yeah.
The rear turret and the tail section are swinging precariously, and rear gunner Flash Gordon, ex-Nottinghamshire miner, has come forward and crouches on the floor amidships with the mid-upper gunner Binty Jones to comfort the badly burnt navigator Cohen.
You're going to be all right. Bloody rotten luck.
Christ. It'd have been better off going quick like Jimmy.
Shut up, Flash. The kid can still hear. You're going to be all right, boy.
Sure you're coach. I just meant...
Oh, no.
Get in the goddamn Murphy!
A cannon shell would blow huge holes through thin aluminium skin. Plus the fact that if you're talking about human beings, it would just blow big holes in them, and the blood was just everywhere.
Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenherz was pleased with his night's work. Having shot down 2 British bombers as they approached the target, he refueled, took off and shot down 2 more on the homeward leg. It was only the thought of the troubles awaiting him on the ground which dulled his mood.
Damn me! Werner, I'll take us up out of range.
Are you hit, Lieutenant?
Yes. I'm hit. Close engine. I'll dive in and put the flames out.
Only to Castor 1. Maintain present altitude.
I jumped out 4 times in the night time. So it's always difficult to get out. You never know where you are landing. And I told my radio operator, okay, we are going to jump to bail out now. He knows this. It's a very safe procedure. I've done it already.
Pilot, prepare to bail out. Tyler, open the hatch. Yes, open it.
I have done it too. I have done it 8 times. And I don't go out.
It's an impact. Shrapnel. Go out to the top. Undo the cockpit cover. I'll bring her level. Good luck, Werner.
Put away the cabin glass, and I went out and lay down on the wing. But in that moment I remembered that I had to break the connection with my earphone and the oxygen mask. And I went again in the plane.
Very well, Louis. Stay out, jump. You can fire into the sea.
Oh, God. Oh, God!
Then again went out and left me down over the wing because I had to go under the tail, not to be cut off my head.
Heading out to sea.
Final joke. You said it, Christian. Shot by your own side. Oh, that
Crescent Exchange here. We have a top priority emergency call routed via Luftwaffe signals. Will you accept the call? Yes, please.
Anna Louisa, is that you?
Yes, August.
Oh.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Are you all right? I just heard that...
Yes, August, yes, we're both all right. You remembered we'd be here in Herford.
Are you both there?
It's quite unharmed.
Thank God. Thank God.
Your voice is so faint.
Are you really all right?
Yes, it stopped. There was a lot of noise, but now all is in order.
Good,
Herr
good.
Oberleutnant.
I meant what I said this afternoon.
Yes.
Kiss Hansel for me. I love you as I've never loved anyone. Come in.
Emergency, sir. Sorry.
Yes, I'm coming, Willie. That's it.
19 minutes to 12. The streets in Altgarten are still burning furiously. Water to fight fires is in short supply. Morphine and other drugs have run out. Medical staff tend to people out in the open areas. The hospital has taken 2 direct hits and is now a burning shell. Fires rage through closely packed streets of old wooden houses.
Quiet! Please, quiet, lads! Hello!
Gert Böll, fire volunteer and cousin to August Bach, climbs over the rubble of what had once been Herr Voss the tailor's shop and house.
Hello! Hello! Can anyone hear me?
Let's go, girl.
No, I thought I had something.
Be sensible, girl. Who can still be alive under that lot?
I promised Hansel Father I'd look after him. Have you no feelings? He's 10 years old. He might be trapped down there.
Do what you like. Be careful, girl. One slip and you'll have it all locked down on top of you.
At Warley Fen Operations Room, only O. Orange is now unaccounted for.
He was a damn fine young officer. Why is it always the decent chaps like Sweet and Fleming who cop it, while Spibs like Lambert? I'm sorry, Longer, it gets me riled.
Well, Lambert got shot up too, Groupie.
You heard Lambert at the briefing tonight. questioning the validity of the RAF.
No.
I know LMF when I see it, Longfellow. Well, I won't stand for it, not in my outfit. Can I have a serious word with Lambert first thing tomorrow?
If he makes it back, sir.
Oh, he'll limp back. His type always do.
In some ways, Gert thought later, it was the easiest tunnel he had ever made through a bomb building. It was only when he was almost into the cellar that he found his way blocked by a large green metal barrier, 2.5 feet across and cylindrical in shape.
What have we here? Water tank. Too heavy? Oh, Christ, no!
In a house in Aberdeen, a man is aroused from his bed by an insistent ringing at his doorbell.
Probably Mrs. Mackay's friends on the way.
Hugh MacDonald was used to calls at all hours. He was, after all, the local doctor.
Telegram, Doctor. Thank you.
You?
War Office.
Oh. Oh, no.
We regret to inform you.
As Dr. MacDonald handed his wife the telegram, in a bombed-out street in Altgarten, his son Ian's last piece of work was about to be put to the test.
Come on, quickly.
Oh, Herr Boll, how can I thank you?
No time to talk. We must get you out and away from here.
Is our house all right?
I don't want to frighten the boy, but there's an unexploded bomb in the rubble.
Big a bomb?
Big enough. It might be a dud, I don't know. Now, Hansel, listen very carefully. I've made a tunnel up to the surface, but you mustn't touch the sides, understand?
All right, Cousin Dad. I knew you'd rescue
Yeah,
us.
well, I'll lead the way. You follow close behind.
Yes, Cousin Dad.
Now, come on. If it's delayed action, it could go off any second, so move quickly.
Radar Station Ermin, August Bach's quarters.
This letter came for you, sir.
Thanks, Rudy. It's from Paul. Well, come on in, let's have a drink. There's a bottle of schnapps there.
I knew he'd be okay. He's a chip off the old block.
Dear Father... Listen, he doesn't want any more food parcels. What we get on ration is perfectly adequate. What a good little SS officer he's turning out to be, eh?
Your drink, sir.
Thank you. Tell Anna Louisa I'm looking forward... I'm looking forward to getting into her bed again. Everyone here says trust the Luftwaffe to get such a gorgeous little thing for a housekeeper.
Don't read any more, sir.
Dear August, I feel our life together is going to be so blessed.
My son is writing to me about the person I was going to marry. To have as a second mother to my children. I must read it all.
In the cottage in Little Warley, Ruth Lambert prepares a late supper for Sam.
I know you're going to be hungry, Sam. Better do another potato. Come on, Sam, you can do it. Don't let me down. Anyway, you can't die with that garage business to run and children to bring up. Oh, Sam. Oh, Sam, thank God. I knew you weren't dead.
At a height of 2,000 feet, Orange is approaching Warley Fen.
Let's have a few more rats, Batters. We're running on fumes as it is. I know, mate. There's the beacon. Keep pushing the column, Dick. We shall stall if a nose comes up. It's Charlie, that's enough. Well done, Skip. I wish we had an RT set to let them know we're coming. I don't mind arriving. It's a surprise. Let's hope the runway's clear. We've only got enough juice for one attempt.
Anna Louisa crawled behind Gert Burl and Hansel as they wormed their way through the debris of Herr Foss's house.
Keep close to me, Hansel. Don't touch the sides. Nearly there.
I do love him, Gert.
Then you'll live happily ever after, won't you?
What was that noise?
Hurry, Mother. It's the bomb. It's the striker moving quickly.
Dr. Hugh MacDonald sits with the telegram in his hands. His wife looks into the rekindled fire. As they stare into the flames, they remember their son. But one thing they will never know. His last job for the Air Force was setting the time fuse on the 4,000-pound bomb in Foss's house. It was a job well done. Official reports produced in the next week recorded Gert Burr, 42, and Aloysia Schmidt, 19, and Hansel Bach, 10 years, as missing. Altgarten had in any case run out of death certificates, and officials had to use pages torn from children's exercise books to register the names of those whose bodies could be identified.
Pilot to crew. I'm not sure about the state of the landing gear. If anyone wants to bail out, I'll understand.
You were a very close body of 7 men. You're almost like 7 brothers. Everybody, in any situation of emergency, always looked after everybody else.
Get what's left of those flaps into something like landing position, Batters. Skip!
Soon after the explosion in Florerstrasse, rescue workers found Walter Reisman, Altgarten's Burgomeister.
So many riches, so many presents.
Walter had run away screaming from the town hall soon after the second wave started to bomb his town. His house had taken a direct hit. His family were dead.
I'm having a birthday dinner. Mother, would you like me to sing you something?
Christ, he's got nothing on.
What's
he doing in the rubbish? Looks like he's building something around himself.
Walter Reisman was trying to bury himself in the rubble of his house. He would survive, die in 1961 in an asylum, reliving the bombing every day in his mind.
She's coming in straight as a die. Well done, skipper. Take the praise till we're on the ground. Too high. Full flanks. That's the US. Airside 145, skip. Lower the gear, Batters. That should slow her down. Hold her still, Digby. Wheel port release. Jammed! Try emergency air. Okay, Skip. Just hold the air bubble out in cockpit. We'll never know if you don't try it. 2 greens. Gear down and lock, Skip. Too fast. Speed. 113. 120. The wheel harder. Come on, you old biscuit now. Binty, hold tight to go in. 100. 90. Oh, God. Here it goes. Whistle her right back. Okay, Batters, get your weight on the column. You've got it, Skip. Everybody break. Come on now. Get your arms down. Get down. Just watch it off. Drop the brakes, Batters, now. We got all the shoot. She'll never fly again.
Oh, God bless you, Mother Earth.
Come away from the aircraft, Batters.
What's the skip? Skip! 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 He might still catch fire.
Come on, Jimmy, old mate. It's going to be all right. Skip. Can't leave Jimmy on his own.
But he's Skip! Come on, Skip. Let me help.
Jimmy and me, Cappy. Find out, Murphy. No. It's all right. I can manage him on my own.
Christ.
That's it. Done. It's over. I promise you, Jimmy. I'll never fly again. Never again.
On the Luftwaffe side, it had been a successful night. They lost 8 night fighters, but they shot down 31 bombers. Another 13 bombers were lost through flak, collision, and human error. 301 Allied crewmen were lost. Of these, 68 survived to become prisoners of war. The German losses were 10 members of night fighter crews. Rudi, the radar operator, and Werner, the observer on Victor Löwenherz's Junkers 88, survived to be killed within a year flying with other pilots.
Let's go!
Victor Löwenherz's friend, Unteroffizier Christian Himmel, had his day in court. Looking pale and thin, he told the facts he had discovered about the horrific medical experiments at Dachau. The military court knew all about them already. However, he didn't face a firing squad. He was sent instead to Brandenburg-Gordon prison, where on June the 1st, 1943, he was guillotined. Sam Lambert said nothing about the events of the night until he and Ruth were in bed. Then, in the dark, with his face turned away from her, he began to weep.
Sam.
Finished with it?
Don't think about it now.
God, it's funny. Oh, we were in debriefing, the damnedest thing. Longfellow got a phone call from Photographic. They developed the first bombing pictures. They reckon it's not Krefeld.
What?
They bombed the wrong place. They're going to have to go back.
But if it wasn't Krefeld, well...
God knows. We flattened it wherever it was. We bombed the wrong bloody place.
In the days that followed, Sam held to his vow never to fly again. In March 1943, he had his rank withdrawn and was quietly transferred from Warley Fen to a station where he was assigned cleaning, sanitation, and refuse disposal duties. Ruth had already been posted to Scotland, where it was discovered she was pregnant. She left the WAAF, and Sam and she spent the rest of the war near each other. Warley Fen is now farmland again, but from the air you can still make out the main runway. Some of the buildings still stand, in ruins, or used as outhouses or cowsheds. Sam has never been back.
What you've just heard was Joe Dunlop's adaptation for radio of Len Deighton's novel, Bomber, a work of fiction. The author, adapter, and the producers would like to point out there never was a bomber command station called Warley Fen, nor a Kroonsvig Luftwaffe airfield, nor a town called Altgarten, nor a Saturday with the date 18th of February, 1943. In Bomber by Len Deighton, narrated by Tom Baker, the crew of Lancaster O Orange were Samuel West as Flight Sergeant Sam Lambert, David Antrobus as Sergeant Ted Battersby, Jonathan Keeble as Sergeant Diggers Digby, Joshua Taub as Sergeant Kosher Cohen, Clive Hill as Sergeant Binty Jones, Ian Peck as Sergeant Flash Gordon, and Terry John as Sergeant Jimmy Grimm. Jack Shepherd played Oberleutnant August Bach, Emma Chambers, WAAF Corporal Ruth Lambert, Alice Arnold, Anna Louisa, John Woodvine, Burgomeister Walter Reisman, and Dominic Rickards, Oberleutnant Baron Victor von Löwenherz. Frank Windsor played Air Marshal Sir Arthur Harris, Michael Troughton, Flight Lieutenant Terry Sweet, and Cyril Jenkins, WAAF Corporal Madge Scott. Other parts were played by Deborah Berlin, Scott Cherry, Joe Dunlop, Russell Floyd, Becky Hindley, David Jarvis, Ian Masters, Don McCorkindale, Kristin Millwood, Gavin Muir, Richard Pearce, Pasco Sabido, Oliver Fenton, Caroline Strong, Eva Stewart, Joe Swash, Michael Tudor Barnes, Derek Waring, and Peter Yap. The producers gratefully acknowledge the assistance of the Battle of Britain Memorial Flight, the RAF Museum Hendon, the Bomber Command Association, the Stadtarchiv Krefeld, the Gemeinschaft der Jagdflieger, and the Imperial War Museum in the making of the programme. Personal reminiscences were by Norman Abernethy, Jim Burt Smith, Ken Faithful, Wolfgang Falk, Michael Floyd, Victor Gregory, Sam Hall, Jim Harness, George Hart, Peter Hinchliffe, Alfred Huberman, Carl Ludwig Johansson, Paul Kessler, Peter Lloyd, Hamish Mahadi, John Moore, Ron Pollard, Douglas Radcliffe, Eileen Richards, Peter Ridgway, Stan Seville, Peter Spoden, Harry Taylor, Alfred Thomas, Len Thompson, and Lydia Zerler. Sound design and technical presentation was by Roger Daines, Mike Efferden, and Colin Guthrie, and the production assistant was Sally Braben. Bomber was dramatised by Joe Dunlop from the novel by Len Deighton and produced by Jonathan Ruffle. The director was Adrian Bean.